too early, but that's okay. My gym workout was phenomenal. Before I went home, I decided to stop over at my mother's house. I haven't seen my mother in 2 months. I know she's going to be very surprised to see me. I can't wait. What the? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The first thing I noticed was this person's skin. What is going on? Uncomplicated, untreated skin? Who is this guy? I had to take a step back, but then I realized it was my brother. But look at his skin. Have you guys ever seen anything like that? I had to take a closer look and figure out what was going on. Best believe I crept up on him. Peep this. I'm still looking at his skin, trying to figure out how did we get here. I could do nothing but shake my head. He could definitely use my help. I had to get to the bottom of this. He definitely needed some game about his skin. I'm just staring at it, like looking at it. Come on, bro. I knew what to do. I had to reach in my bag and get that Tej Hanley. Uncomplicated skincare for men. Bro, this is why I'm excited to have Tej Hanley as the sponsor of today's video. They have helped me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like you and me. I recommend you start with their level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and the grime on your skin, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells, an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My brother was so excited. My favorite part about Tej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. Shout out to Tej Hanley. And because Tej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description, and not only will you get Tej Hanley for the best possible price, but they'll also give you a free gift with your first box. Click that link and get started today for just $30. Feel the Tej. Let the Tej force be with you. Let's just have a conversation. How y'all doing, family? Yo, what's going on, family? Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. Let me go and introduce the crew. We got Brother Sweeney, The Real Precious, Lady Di, Let Go, Paradise Paris, Ali, Trev Smooth, Chanel, and myself and Lapeef JR. Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. What's going on, family? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Hey,
Everything's good. What up?
How y'all doing?
No complaints, man. Another day in the paradise. Another day in the paradise. It's good to see you guys again. Everybody looks lovely. Hey, Chanel, what is that? What's that spot right there?
I'm finishing up my husband's hair.
Oh, I thought she was breastfeeding. Okay, I didn't know what. Okay, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know. Okay,
I thought you had like a poodle in your hand. I'm sorry.
right. I didn't know what was.
They're
I just
growing
didn't-
so long.
Okay.
I'm just finishing up. He'll be done in a second.
Yeah.
That's where you went, bro. Breastfeeding. That's where you.
I
That's your
seen
mind.
hair.
You went there.
I didn't. The back of somebody's head. I didn't know what. Okay.
You could have just asked, "What are you doing, Chanel?" You didn't have to go there. Jeez.
I thought it was like a mic cover or something. Huh? I've never seen that type of filter, but
An Afro mic cover.
Mike looked like an afro. How? And then you're gonna ask me why I said what I said.
boy, y'all, it's too early, man. It's too
Mike
early.
looked like an afro. Okay.
See, now I'm about to go and invent an Afro mic cover just for you.
Oh, that's too much. Everybody your secret now, man. You know how black folks are, man. Copycats. So. All right, let's go ahead and get it started, man. That was a dry moment. Guys, just tune in. Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. Make sure with the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley, uncomplicated skincare for men. 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. So make sure you guys feel the Teej, as I always say. Go ahead and cop that Teej pack. Get a gift. That's that special man in your life. And again, I've said this on numerous shows before that if you do have masculine skin, women, Teej is for you as well. Teej may even soften that masculine skin. So, no, that one didn't. Okay, yeah. Well, I tried, man. I tried to slide that one in again. I guess it didn't work. So, I'll just go ahead and take that one off the list.
Some women be having masculine skin for real though.
Okay, so keep it on the list. Okay, I'll bring it up next show.
Yeah, that's why they got all that makeup on.
Oh, crocodile skin.
Can someone tell me what is masculine skin? Just want to
It
know.
is some crocodile skin out there.
It's like
when a woman has carpet skin.
So some men just have rough skin? Is that what it is?
I never seen men.
No, it's just man skin.
know.
Man skin shouldn't feel like women's skin shouldn't feel like man skin.
I thought it was just like rough skin.
Look
Of
at
the beard.
a man's skin is aggressive.
Aggressive.
Yeah, and then sometimes the skin gets triggered. So we call it like an outbreak or something like that. Like
What? He got herpes or something? What?
Oh my god.
Outbreak.
Outbreak.
What are you talking about? An outbreak?
Herpes skin.
It was supposed to be a joke, man, but I see how it went left, man. So
Yeah.
I hold myself accountable on that one. I'll take that one off the list too. Never use that one again because y'all just went left. So I guess I gotta say pause and all that good stuff tonight too, right? Because you guys,
You just got to mix.
It's gonna be one of them kind of nights.
You just got to mix a smidget of Simplex with the Teej to get rid of that herpes skin.
Not the herpes skin.
Why you know the medicine? Is that the medicine for it?
Man, y'all know we see those commercials all the time.
No, what commercial you talking about, Sweetie?
Yeah, what
That herpes Simplex, what is it called? Herpes Simplex.
I ain't never seen that commercial.
Yeah, you did. Stop lying.
Sweeney be up late at night.
Now that's the email he got. He opened it up with the instructions, though.
He over there on WebMD.
Oh man,
Like everything is virtual now. So.
Hey,
WebMD, bro.
Yeah, his
WebMD did that. WebMD had you thinking you got cancer because of anything.
Dr. Sebi over there.
All right, man. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's see what we got in the chat. Mr. BX87. It's all green gang. Joe Lee, I see you. Erica, I see you as well. Who else we got? Marquise Keys. What's going on, brother Jordan? I see you in there. Trigger Mike. It's in the chat. Man. Trigger Mike, get to the work, man. Get to that work. Who else we got? Team Fatty is in the building as well. What's up, Fatty? Want to become part of Green Gang? Click that link that's to the top of the chat. Come on over. Get all those fancy emojis. I'm gonna put some more emojis in there too, man. I think I'm about to do emoji for Trev and Sweeney. Pressure. Ali. Everybody get emoji.
Yeah, do that.
So just send me a photo of you guys, man. I'll put y'all.
Just make sure my emoji got red in it.
Got red in it.
Oh no, I got the emoji for you. Just put.
Oh, okay, you got.
Hey, go ahead. Show him,
Don't
Sweetie.
start,
Go ahead, Sweetie. Go ahead, Sweetie. Do it. Sweetie, please hit the button.
definitely gonna be one of them nights.
Hit the button.
Too early, y'all. Come on.
Make Ali the emoji just like that with someone with a fake beard.
Make sure Mr. Lego emoji come with a head transplant. Oh, can you say that?
It's gonna be a long day for HR tomorrow. I can already tell already. It's gonna be one of those nights, man. Yeah, let's start it. Like Bunch Family. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Here we go. Moving into our first topic of the night is cheating affects men worse. Here's the clip.
Is that true? Do you find that men have a harder time recovering from infidelity than women, or is that a myth?
I think That's a very good question.
You've been saying that all night.
No, you guys, y'all prepared today. Y'all jokers getting better and better, boy. I say this. I say that the stigma is that, men can't handle it. There are a lot of men, y'all, who've gotten past infidelity. But what it is women are open about when something hurts. They cry openly. They tell their friends. They tell other people, and we know about it. Men, we don't know about the silent pain. So what you don't know is who's dealing with it, who's going through it, unless they're close to you. Because men, we've been taught not to share our emotions. But that is the reason why it's important, if the man wants to make it work, to find somebody like a Coach Ken that can help them take their emotions, because they don't know what to do with these emotions. This woman has betrayed me. She's betrayed everything I've ever believed. Okay? They don't know what to do with it. The woman will cry out and say, I've got this, I'm hurting. All right? And then somebody comes to help, right? The men don't. They just say, fuck it, let me go fuck some other bitches.
Who's that doing that? That's you, Ollie?
No, that was Mr. Lebo hitting his head.
Sweeney keep doing it. The same noise earlier.
Okay. All right, cheating affects men worse. Let's go ahead and dive into it. You guys got the context of it. Who wants to tackle this one first before it gets a little chaotic in here?
I'll go first. So it's not really a disagreement because men are men and we're different or whatever. But altogether, two reasons, in my opinion. One is not that we take cheating worse or it affects us worse, is women be wanting men to tolerate the shit or to stay after the woman cheats. And no, your ass got to go. So we don't take it worse. We just have better standards. We have better boundaries. No way in hell a woman's going to cheat on me and she's still going to be in my house. Get out. So that's really it. And I'm more capable or able, regardless of what age I am versus a woman, to just go get another woman and, keep rocking out. So that's the one thing. And then the other thing is, in a lot of cases, not all, but in a lot of cases, the man is paying bills and taking care of her and probably taking care of a child that isn't his, she's a single mother or something like that. So in a lot of cases, a man is taking care of more things than a woman is, whether it's financially or physically. And for her to turn around and cheat on him, he's like, is you crazy? So in my opinion, it's those two things. He's the breadwinner. How dare you cheat on me if I've been get out. So those are the two reasons in my opinion. But it's not we take it worse. We just got better standards.
All right, go ahead, Paris.
I actually spoke about this. I think a lot of times it's kind of dismissive because the idea is that men are not actually getting cheated on. So, and that's because you don't hear
what?
Can I finish? You don't hear women going around trying to be elaborate about the fact that they cheated, unless they're trying to play get back and hurt the man. You don't hear them just randomly going, he didn't do anything wrong. He was perfect. I cheated on him. That's not something women do, because a lot of times women don't want to be accountable for looking like the bad partner. And so I also have said this, a lot of times men are just simply not discussing their hurt out loud. They're processing it. They have their support system and they're moving on. Whereas women want a trophy or to have public humiliation or embarrassment for hurting men. So I don't necessarily think that men take cheating better. And I don't necessarily think that women deal with cheating well at all, because when you're constantly emotionally abusing your partner by bringing it up, and when you're constantly saying things like, well, you hurt me, so this is why I did what I did, that's not you actually coping with cheating. That's actually you trying to find ways to get around cheating. And I really think that it should be discussed more, but it's going to take men to be honest to bring up the conversation and say, you hoes be cheating. And until men actually want to have that conversation and say, well, I was cheated on, without, caring about what happens down the line, I don't think we'll actually be able to address it all the time.
All right. So I feel like men will always take it worse because it actually is worse, in my opinion. And I'll explain why. Man can cheat and pretty much objectify a woman with no emotion involved. He can still love his woman completely, maybe not necessarily the way that the woman would love him, but he will still love her. He can step out, do his thing. And I'm not justifying cheating by any means, but what I'm saying is men can love a woman, step out, still love the woman, whereas most women, unless they are completely damaged, can't just step out on their dude without having some type of a serious attachment to that man. There's usually an emotional tie to that man. And usually she would like to leave and go with that man. So women and men don't process sex in the same way, whereas men can absolutely objectify you. And it's no problem at all for them to just go right back to the woman and love them the same as they did before.
All right. Go ahead, Precious.
I would agree with that. I don't see men really processing another man conquering their woman. It's just not something that they want to imagine. They don't want to picture it. And every time they think about it, they probably get anger or rage. Whereas women, Paris, you said that, women don't necessarily talk about it. I feel like that's true partly because they still doing their activities elsewhere. So they're talking about it with somebody and they're doing activities that someone is probably okaying and rooting them on. Whereas men, like the guy said in the video, they don't talk about it. And you also said it yourself. They don't talk about it. They don't have outlets. They're not going to say, oh, my wife cheated on me. They're just not going to do that. But I do think that they take it a lot worse because Mr. Lego said a lot of men carry on the bulk of the responsibility. So it's like, how dare you go out here and make a fool out of me? So I think they take it a lot worse than women do.
Specifically, I said women don't talk about it unless they're trying to embarrass their partner. That's when you do hear women admit out loud, oh, I cheated on him. She's trying to find a way to excuse why she cheated, or I'm going to show him I'm like my daddy playing get back. You don't find a lot of women who feel like they were the perfect partner actually admit to cheating when they don't think that they did anything wrong.
Okay. All right, let me go ahead, Sweeney.
I don't think men are affected worse or anything like that. I just think men are less forgiving for it. It says statistically, only roughly 30% of men forgive cheating, whereas roughly about 60 to 70% of women are more forgive cheating. So I just think men are less forgiving of it. I don't think they're affected more or worse. I think the feelings are still the same. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't tell you why women forgive cheating as much as they do. I don't know, but I do know that when men do not like for their women to cheat on them, and it's simple as that. They can't fathom the idea of some other man plugging a woman. Doesn't matter how you try to slice it, whatever you want to call it. We're just not going.
We're territorial. Like there's no way in hell another man is gonna like have sex with my woman. She's no longer my woman. I don't want her no more.
Right.
And women forgive it because they're getting taken care of. So it's something that they try to overlook, knowing emotionally that they really can't do it.
That's the actual thing right there. Women be forgiving men because she getting taken care of. You're right.
Because I don't think people think as much as we do like the deep dives into the nature of, you know what I mean, men and women and stuff like that on a like person to person level. I don't think people even think that deep into it. I think men ain't going for it. Women are more likely to find a reason to forgive them, and that's how it is. Is once you do it, it's you out. It is what it is, and that's why there's this stigma that men can't take cheating. It's not that we can't take it; we just won't tolerate it.
I also don't think that women don't deal with it because they can't get taken care of. I think it's a winner's mindset. because when you talk about cheating, like I can literally give you the example of the guy who is characterized as the quote unquote pookie, and he's running around six different kids. He don't really have the means or the resources to actually comfort a woman to take care of her. But it's the winner's mindset. Like, this is my territory. This is my man. I feel like I've gotten something because I can't look at a guy who is having 5 or 6 children in multiple households, and primarily the women are probably doing better than him and housing him, and go, she's got a good man.
Yeah, men recognize it as the ultimate form of betrayal. It's different. Women don't see it as much as betrayal as men recognize it as betrayal. A man's loyalty does not lie within his loins.
I do.
Okay. I'm sorry, Lady Di. I do think women see it as the ultimate betrayal, but like Sweetie said, we just tend to forgive more. But I disagree that the premise that women handle it better. I actually don't think women handle it better. We just handle it differently. We cry our eyes out. We are depressed. We do whatever. So I don't think we actually handle it better than men do. We just handle it differently. Maybe men go sleep around. Maybe women eat unhealthily. I don't know. But both versions of that is bad. It's not one is better and one is worse.
So then let me ask you this. Is there any reason that you would leave a man?
Is that for me specifically or for the panel?
Or any lady who wants to answer.
Yeah.
Who doesn't see it as the ultimate form of betrayal?
I have 2 hard no's. Cheating is not one of them. Cheating has never been my absolute no. And that's because
What's your absolute no?
My absolute no is an addiction and abuse. I will not tolerate a man randomly beating on me for no reason. I will absolutely feel the need to not support him through an addiction. Some things you just have to have a set precedent for. Addiction is a self-motivated thing. So everything else, it can be a discussion. It can be worked through. Of course, that's negating sexuality. I won't even put that on the table because I don't idealize myself with a homosexual man. So with that being said, everything else can be worked through a conversation because everything else could be an individualistic problem, or it could be something that is completely something that we created together. I encourage the problem or whatever the case may be, but I agree with Chanel. I've always said that women are just vocal about the cheating. Women just happen to want to embarrass the man. Women just happen to want him ridiculed, because it's a damaging feeling for anybody. It's emotional abuse. And you have a way of wanting to make that thing a punishment. Doesn't necessarily make it right. I think that men actually handle cheating, the aftermath of it, a lot better, because more times often than not, if you don't allow a person to be the orchestrator of how you get treated. If I say this is my hard no and my boundary and you go against that, then I choose what happens next. You don't choose how I respond to disrespect. And that's why I elude men from being able to walk away from it and not forgive it, because that's something that's not tolerated in a monogamous relationship.
That's how we feel about it. That's how we feel about cheating. It's a hard no. That's for us.
I was going to say that I think that it affects women more, only because they would stay with a man that would cheat on them, and they would continue to talk about it the rest of their relationship. So if they're together for 20 years, she's going to bring it up for 20 years. And if he keeps doing it over and over again, then it's like affecting her over and over again. So I think that it's just affecting her triple fold. I think men handle it, I would say worse, because there's some men that will, delete you if you try to, mess around with another dude. So, and that's just handling it differently. Kind of like what Chanel said. I don't know. I think that the anger, like you guys handle like situations more with anger and rage. So that's why it comes to your insanity and you just go like a little crazy. But I do think women are affected worse emotionally. I think emotional damage is worse because it's something that starts to tap into the mental illness, sector. And once you hit that part, it's kind of like no coming back.
I have to disagree
we have
with
to stop. We have to stop making men seem so violent.
Because men are no more
men are not more violent than women, right? Women. The only reason women are not as violent is because they're not capable of winning. If you look up statistically to see which relationship is the most violent, it's two females. So females are actually more violent. They have a more violent nature. They just don't have the capability of being violent.
And that's what I was going to say. I'm not saying that a man. Go ahead.
And also on the contrary to what you're saying, and I'm not going to discount the fact of emotions, right? Like love will get you killed. But when we say certain things like that, I think the issue here is, for one, I don't like the preference, especially in conversations, Black men being the boogeyman. We see shows like Snap, and we see shows like, my Fatal Attraction, et cetera, which
y'all see shows like Snap. Just keep that in mind.
I'm just saying in general, Mr. Let Go, right? So what I'm saying is we see shows that are getting national syndicated attention. They're being aired for years at a time. And those shows are based around women experiencing rejection and territorialism because their spouse has stepped out and found another love interest. And when you're talking about having a cheating relationship, I think the best thing to do here is say anybody can be violent when they feel that their emotions are tampered with.
And I was going to say, too, there's
go ahead, Sweeney. I got a question.
There's been ongoing, like we've seen it, grit ball, setting cars on fire. You know what I mean? We see it all the time. I think, like, I agree with Trev. Huh?
I said, did you just bring Medea up in this grit ball?
There's a reason why that was mentioned, and how many people identified and agreed with it when they seen it and laughed and clapped their hands. Because a lot of them would be willing to do those type of things.
The baby oil on the floor in the bathroom from this Christmas.
Like I've seen more women get violent in relationships than I've ever seen men, and that's bar none across. And again, that's my own anecdotal. But when I've seen violence, I've seen women go to. It's just like Trev said, though. We're just more successful at it because we're stronger. But that don't mean that wasn't for lack of trying. She tried.
I'm saying, like,
most men don't even report it.
Let me just ask y'all a question. And this might sound crazy. Why do y'all care so much when y'all get cheated on, or if y'all get cheated on?
Because I just verbal agreement with me that said that you were okay. So this is why.
But
right?
virtually every verbal agreement gets broken.
No. Here's the thing, right? When you become an adult, every relationship that you fester is one that you cultivate on your own person. Nobody's forcing you into that relationship. So I can choose to talk to my parents. I can choose to talk to the friends that I say are my friends. I can choose this job. Everything is a choice. And so as a man in my situation, if a man saying, you know what, I had all of these wide range of women to choose from, but Paris, I choose you. And then you go out and you break the vow that we're practicing to be committed to each other before we even get to marriage, or even after we get to marriage. And for me, when men say their word is their bond, I honor that, right? So when you're going to bring distrust into the situation and you step out, in my head, first thing that comes to me is the fact that we had a problem. We had a problem. You, to a degree, you had that not have been happy with me somewhere down the line. I need to be able to address this, fix it. This is our relationship. Regardless if he has no emotional attachment to this woman, something encouraged him to say, at one point in time, I only want to be with you. I only wanted to have sex with you. I only wanted to honor you and your body and lay with you. And then now I don't anymore. And not just the penetration, the conversation, the emotional attachment, the caring for another woman, the providing for her, giving her money, making her feel special. All of these other things.
Let me answer the question. Let go.
Yeah, answer the question. Go ahead. Answer the question.
So to me, if you men will stop lying to women all the time about y'all wanting to be with a whole bunch of ladies or whatever the case is, maybe the mindset of us wouldn't be so you can't do that. You can't do that to me. Don't mess around and all that other stuff. If this is what you guys preach, that it's natural to have multiple women, cool. But in this society, that's not how it is. We wasn't raised that way. So in our head, it's embedded that you cannot be with somebody else. If you do it, it's an ultimate betrayal for us. So I think it should be more honesty into what it is that y'all really are destined to do. Maybe it will be a little bit better mentally for ladies to understand.
So in other words, y'all are acting off of what somebody else did. So in other words, you're upset because you think you're supposed to be upset. Like I got
you use the word cheat. You use the word cheat, not honesty.
I get it, but still, like, just like we talked about, we left apartments that we don't want to live in, and we got out the lease. All these different agreements that we've broken up with people, not just cheated on them. We've broken up with them.
They
or
have
any other, because I'm
not a covenant.
Hold on. I'm not saying cheating and breaking up are two different things. But Paris, you said you made an agreement. So
Correct.
you make an agreement, you can change your mind. So it's a different type of making an agreement when it comes to cheating and breaking up, but you still broke an agreement. So we all are somewhat accustomed to not living out what we say we was going to do. But when somebody cheats, out of all these other agreements that we break, it's betrayal. And in my opinion, it's narcissism. And let me explain real quick. Hold on. Let me explain.
Okay.
If a woman cheats on me, I'm just gonna kiss on her forehead and say thank you, because I ain't put no baby in you. I ain't married you. We don't have all these things interconnected. And now, guess what? I could just get you out of here and go about my business, because in my mind, I'm like, whoo.
Okay.
I almost put a baby in a whore, or I almost married a hoe. Get ass out of here.
But what you're talking about is how people are responding to a feeling that their partner has intercepted, or some form of, again, betrayal that has
just somebody else.
Wait a minute. Intercepted the relationship, because this was not a part of what we signed up for. So I'm a woman, and let me be the first person to say it. I'm going to speak for myself. And I said it once. Cheating is not my deal breaker. I do not care about a man cheating. You cannot bother me about my man laying with you. It will not affect me whatsoever. So let me say that. Secondly, moving into what you're talking about, Mr. Lego, you're trying to preface that everybody should behave how you would behave in a situation.
That's why I started in the question, because I just want to know.
Yes, you are. Because the question is, why would you get mad? You can't tell another individual who has built a bond with a person, whether that bond is 6 months or whether that bond is 6 years or 36 years, how to feel about a person that they have created history with, a person that they made a family with, that they made a child with, that they made memories with. You have no autonomy over that. I cannot go and tell a man who loves his wife, you have no right to feel bad because she chose to step out because her body is her own.
Let's take the wife part out. Let's just look at relationships.
Well, relationships.
That'll make it a little bit better.
Tell a grown man who told a woman, you know what, I just want to be with you. And that woman went and broke that covenant with her agreeing to just be with him, and make him say, oh, you're wrong for making her feel like she's wrong for going to sleep with somebody else, when that's not what she told him. I can absolutely feel a ways about a person telling me one thing and behaving another, because anytime you impose cheating, by definition, something is wrong when you say cheat. Now, if you were to say honesty, like Lady Di said, I would respect the man if he came to me and said, you know what, I'm never going to be with just one woman, but I want to be in a relationship with you. That's not the act of cheating, because honesty was present. When you are cheating, you are hiding something, you are lying, you are definitely doing it on a prejudice. You cannot make cheating the default and then turn around and make it something honorary. Those two things don't correlate by dictionary.com.
I agree with you. It's one thing that, like, let me just elaborate, because I'm not going to say you're missing it, because there may be something in my communication. The reason why I'm bringing this up is when somebody's like, oh my God, how, I'm not saying a marriage, I'm saying boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Y'all living together, whatever, no kids together. Why don't people look at cheating as a sign of this person ain't shit, and thank you for showing me who you actually are, so I get you out of here. So I go about my business.
They're gonna do that anyway.
I'm happy I don't get cheated on, but I ain't got cheated on since I was young. But
really?
I was married for a long time, so I'm not gonna. I will be happy if I found out a woman was cheating, and I'm like, damn, I almost went this far with you. Thank you. Let me get out of here. So if we actually was to look at cheating as what it actually is, a definite sign, a definitive sign that this person is not for me, there's no reason to be mad at them. Get her ass out of here. But the reason why y'all ass get so upset and butthurt when somebody cheats is because you don't want to leave the person. That's the reason why y'all asses get so mad. Get their asses out of here so you can go on about your business.
I was gonna say, like, it's more of if you have, especially if you have kids with this person.
That's
now
different.
I
That's
gotta,
it.
but it's still like you don't want to leave the person. You have children with this person, so now
that's the reason why I say it's different.
Yeah.
Though. That's different.
Okay.
Bro, the hurt the same no matter what.
But it's gonna be similar though, because if you don't want to leave a person, if you don't have kids versus you do have kids, either way,
you ain't married, you ain't got no kids together, y'all probably just living together. Just get their asses out there and go to somebody else. Like, why people get so mad?
Well, I don't think people, because naturally people don't want to just leave the relationships that they're in. So being cheated on is a betrayal to people. And while they're gonna, yes, do exactly what you say and get their ass up out of here, that doesn't mean that they have to be any less upset. Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh God, thank you for cheating on me." So
what's the reason for me being upset though?
I'm not talking about
emotional investment.
He's
There's
saying
an
like
emotional investment.
So get somebody else. How many times you don't had a car?
No, that's not how that
broke
works,
down?
man.
You ain't
That's not how that
crying.
works.
Not everybody got that light switch in them. Not everybody got that light switch in them.
You telling people to fight the human in them.
That takes maturity and time. I think once
your
you're
blender
older,
break, you just go buy another blender. You don't start crying over the goddamn blender. What the fuck?
People do cry over their blender, especially if it was a nice one. I cried over a blender, bro. I was mad as hell when I broke it.
With time and maturity, you can get to that point where you're like, okay, you just did me a favor. But if you're young in a relationship, you're never gonna just walk out the relationship like, I'm good. You're gonna be in pain. You're gonna be, hurt.
Y'all narcissists. All I'm saying is y'all are narcissists. That's why. Oh, how dare you?
Stop throwing that word around, bro. That is not what a narcissist is.
Look, parents were just talking about how y'all be looking at all these crazy ass crazy people channels, the ID channels. You don't see people kill each other and shit, and a man just cheated on you. You acting goddamn fool. Just get him out of there and get somebody else. What the hell? Y'all seen worse. Y'all watch worse every night.
I think
you watch worse happen to other people, not to you.
It can happen to you.
That's like watching somebody get shot on TV and then telling them
they can it won't happen to you. That's a narcissism, Sweeney.
Oh, that's like watching somebody get. That's like watching.
My point to respond to Lady Di to make a point that actually doesn't correlate here. I was just simply saying that everybody can be capable of abuse, Mr. Let Go. That's why I brought up the shows to show that as an example. However, when you're talking about narcissism, a narcissistic person is actually a person trying to cultivate a relationship to never make themselves feel like that they're the problem, and they utilize manipulation in that process. In cheating, that's not what that is. So you can't make a person narcissistic because they felt a certain type of way about being betrayed by their intimate partner or their spouse or however you want to call it.
So how dare you cheat on me? Is it narcissistic?
No, because again, when you're talking a monogamous relationship, mono is the root word of one. That means that you're only with one person. And when you say cheat, by default, cheating is something that means wrong, bad. Like if you're taking a test in a school, if you know the information, you know the information. You don't pull up resources that you are prepared to use. So when a man saying, hey, I only want to be with you, or a woman is saying, hey, I only want to be with you, and by default, you integrate a third person into their relationship, the only way that other person could have came into their relationship is if one of us let them in. They were not supposed to be here. They were not agreed upon by both parties. That is a cheat because you did something to hide it. It was not done where your partner openly welcomed it, where your partner was included in the conversation. You went behind their back. It was very intentional. It was very mischievous. You were trying to ensure that they did not know about it. That is the cheating thing. It is deceit. It is betrayal. And just because you don't like the way other people respond to it doesn't mean you could call them narcissists and gaslight the fact that they respond by saying, you know what, I don't want to leave you because I care about you, but I am going to leave you in my own time. You don't get to
actually, Paris, actually think about this. I don't want to leave you because I'm attached to you. A lot of these people be emotionally attached to the other person, and then they get cheated on and they feel betrayed, mainly because they don't want to leave their emotional attachment. We have to understand that in life, people break up. One person don't want to break up with the other person when the other person breaks up with them. It's life. People die. Grandmama died. They supposed to die. As somebody, we got to look at life as it's circular. Shit changes. All right.
In other words, not be human.
No, it's not about not being human, but
that's what you're asking for.
Hold on. You cry when grandma dies. You get mad when your dog dies. You get mad when your toaster stops working. You get mad when you get a flat tire. And then when somebody cheats on you, you want to go kill the person and go crazy. No, just get mad, cry, and be upset, and then move the hell on. That's what the reason why nobody wants to move on. That is, to me, that is partly narcissistic. You ain't got no babies with a person.
Do that, Mr. Michael. You're creating something.
Hold on, listen.
Hey, we got to get Ali in that too, yeah.
You have no kids with a person, and you're not married to the person. Let that person go, because that is a sign of that person being trash. Y'all don't want to let these damn people go, and that is the narcissistic side of it. You are not accepting of what's in front of you. That's what I'm saying. I'm not condoning cheating. I'm just saying, why y'all get so mad when somebody cheat on you? Just get rid of the goddamn person.
What? I don't think it's why people get mad that they get cheated on, but I do hear you that women stay longer than they should.
Yeah,
and that's just because
traumatize themselves.
Either esteem issues, self-worth. Like I think it plays into that. Yes. But like Paris said, you can't really patrol someone and how they feel when you cheat on them and y'all were in a monogamous relationship. But you should walk away when you're not being respected in your relationship.
Right. It's just a personal understanding. I'm not telling men to do it or women to do it. I'm just saying, if we actually change the way we think and say, oh shit, you cheated on me. Thank you. You showed me who you are. I can go on and move on without having a baby with you or without getting married to you or whatever. And now you just go about your business instead of look like, oh my God, this shit is crazy. Like I said, flat tire, all these different things that go on in your life, you don't start crying and having a fit. But when somebody cheat, you don't think cheating in some point in your life is going to happen? Get rid of the person and move on.
But I think that can be said with the person also leaving them. Like, I get where you're coming from. Like, yes, there are women who may stay longer and there are women who are emotionally attached, but you can't say that there can't be duality that exists in this particular situation. I can absolutely feel a ways, and I can also leave a person and say, fuck them, the same way men do. There are a lot of times when men leave women for cheating, they say very heinous things about her. They don't speak well about a woman that has cheated on them, and it shows that they have some emotion about the person. Why would you insinuate that a person who's been with a person, cultivated a relationship, cannot have some emotional attachment to them? That's what a relationship is, and we don't need to segregate that.
A breakup is the same thing.
You're just saying
irrational behavior.
A breakup is the same thing. Somebody breaks up like, oh well, I need to move on.
You cannot ask unemotionally intelligent people to control their feelings because they don't know how. That's two different things.
But we got to learn. Look, we got to evolve though, Paris. I like what you just said. That last part, I like it. This is my opportunity for everybody to just think for a second and say, let's evolve instead of all this stupid shit that we see on TV. I think because Lady Di said this earlier, we're taught to feel betrayed when somebody cheats on us because we're looking at all these stupid ass shows. No, just leave. It's an indication that the person is trash. Just leave.
Bro, we've been doing fine for 35,000 years, and people being upset about somebody cheating on them has always been there.
Evolve is what I'm saying.
We got to get Ali in there, y'all. Go ahead, Ali.
I think everybody capping a little bit, and everybody right at the same time too. So I say that women are capping because when you're not in a committed relationship, you sharing your man, and you fine with sharing your man. So it's funny to me. I think it's a psychological issue when you do end up getting in a relationship that you want control of the man. But I do think it's more worse for women when you really didn't like the guy. It's like, did Nick cheat on me? I think women get mad worse when it's a dude that they shouldn't been with or settled with. When she knows the value of that man, it's a different experience, because we all know if a man cheats, it shows his value every single time. When he cheats, the women desire your man. Y'all know that for a fact. Typically, when a woman cheats, it brings her down. And she also committed to the fact that another man could be better than her man. So when y'all cheat, y'all are actually trying to hurt a man. When a man cheats, it's actually demonstrating his value. And he may step out because of his nature. The thing is, in these conversations, we never talk about a man's nature. And we never talk about the man that you're dealing with, whether it's a guy you know can't get any woman that cheated on you and you upset, or it's a man you go, hey man, this man can get women and he cheated on you, or it's you going, is this really this man's nature? You know, we don't have honest conversations about this. Is it truly cheating when a man steps out? Are you putting him against his will when he engages in a relationship with you and he commits to it? It's like me expecting you not to be a woman. It's me expecting you not to be emotional or be an emotional roller coaster or demonstrate certain behavior. So I think it's capped, because when women are sharing men, women behave better. Life it moves more smoothly for them. But then when they get in monogamy, they can't even handle monogamy. But when y'all share the guy,
please say that again. They act better. Please say that part again.
Yeah, everybody acts better. When you're not trying to control each other, everybody behaves better. And women will say it too. I'm happier when I'm not with a guy. You don't have no control of him, but you'll fantasize that he's the only one when you're not in a committed relationship, and you know you sharing them. So what changes when you get into a marriage? It's the control aspect of it. But a lot of times I believe it's the woman is insecure as well too. And it's because the lies are being pushed. But when a man loves you, he's not going anywhere typically if he loves you. But I still believe it affects men worse, because again, you gave a man something for nothing. He dominated you. It didn't demonstrate no value for you. But when a man gets women, it shows his value. Yeah, we know that for a fact. Regardless of how anybody feels, it demonstrates the value of a man. So if you walking down the street, and let's say Precious my woman, and we walking down the street, and she know I cheated with Paris, or people know I cheated with Paris, it still shows my value. Precious going, I ain't worried about that. That's my man. Like, it's the way she thinks about it. But if I'm walking down the street and with Precious, and I know Sweetie hit that, Sweetie dominated my woman, and it shows his value. Nah, I'm just saying, to be realistic, when a woman cheats with a man, in any way you capacity looking at it still shows his value. I don't care how foul women be like, oh, he dirty, he gonna get more women. It demonstrated his value over another man. Like, we gotta be honest. We gotta be honest about it. But just one more thing, and I'm done. Whether you single, whether you in a relationship, whether you dating, whether you married, you have the potential to share a man, and you know it. The women that understand it, they stand beside that man. The women who want to be selfish give up that man, and another woman gets that valuable man. All that stuff you built up, that it'll be a dumb woman to build up this man and be with this high so-called value man, and you just give him to another woman. Whereas when we leave you, all the brothers sitting up here go, damn, old girl cheated. I don't want to be with her. She not loyal. You lose when you cheat. A man still keeps his value, and it's just the truth.
Yep.
Ali, I want to say that I actually agree with you, because I've never heard somebody preface it that way when you talk about like showing a man's value, because I do believe that women inadvertently compete with each other when it comes to men. I always stick by the rule of thumb: we actually promote y'all. Anytime you see a man who's single, he don't have as much attention from women until there's a woman who's willing to take a chance on him and break him in and attempt to quote unquote domesticate him and kind of like make him she takes the reins.
Wait,
and that
what?
in turn makes it easier. Yeah, she takes the reins.
Domesticate.
Well,
Can you elaborate on that?
Okay, so what I mean by domesticate is not making him sit in the house and cook and clean and be a simp. What I mean is when she actually takes the chance to do the hard work and get him into a relationship. Because if a man wants to be single and he can have his way being single, a lot of times, a lot of them don't see the value in being in a relationship, because why would I have a woman be committed to me when she's going to do all of these things without me committing to her? But nevertheless, that wasn't my point. My point is, I think the only issue that I'm having here is with the word cheating, because I can understand all of these things. I can honor all of these things, even when it comes to a man's nature. But I think that when you're making it a huge difference when you walk in the house wanting to distance yourself and pretend like you tired or you just don't have no energy for me and pick an argument, as opposed to walking in the house and letting me know, you know what, I just got off work and there's this other little Joan I really want to go ahead and link up with. I'm gonna go see her. Are you okay with that? That's a whole nother different conversation. And I think that that's where I'm having an issue, because that's not what's being said.
But how many women, Paris, how many women are actually having that conversation with a man? How many women really want to hear that? How many women really allow? No, it does. So you can't say to tell a man to be emotional. You can't tell a man to be to communicate with you. You can't tell a man to practice being intelligent and being a leader, and then you're saying it doesn't matter.
No. I don't think that you're understanding my point. So what I'm saying is that there's the huge difference, because when you're cheating, right, there's deception and cheat. When you're cheating, you're intentionally trying to hide something, as opposed to saying, well, it's a man's nature. So if you're telling me it's a man's nature, I would look at it much different if you walked in the house and told me, you know what, you're my woman. I just had a long day, but there was another woman that I happened to just see, and I really want to go ahead and go see something about her real fast. But
You being disingenuous right now, because you already said you need to domesticate a man. That's why what Let Go just asked you.
I never said I needed to domesticate a man.
Yes, you did. That's why he
asked you. You kind of said that though.
I did not say I needed to promote a domesticate man. I said
it sounds like a mode of operation or something.
Hold on, real quick. Let go. Hold on. What did you say?
I think you guys are mishearing my words.
This is 2 shows in a row. We
elaborate.
Okay, so what I meant by that is when a woman gets into a relationship with a man, we promote you guys. So we make other women see your value, which is what essentially Ali said. You may not have liked the word domesticate, but essentially when you're putting 2 people in a relationship together, you're creating a unit of one. So that's what I meant by it. Not necessarily he's sitting at home being a simp. And I don't.
But I disagree with that part. Like he already demonstrated.
Hung up on that. That wasn't my point. My point to what you said, Ali, was when you're saying, "Hey, this is a woman. This is a man's nature." My only issue that I'm having with that is, okay, I can honor that. That's your nature. I don't want it to be a situation where we're utilizing the word cheat, and that's not the word that should be there. Because if it's your nature, I would like for more men to have the balls to come home.
Oh, okay. So exercise is options.
Correct.
Okay. I get what you're saying now.
Here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. Most women don't value their man enough for them to ever approach them like that, right?
Exactly.
If you were obviously the top 5% or something like that, you go get that off. However,
and she's gonna be okay with
women will not value the average man who would have the same needs, right, as anybody who's on the top or whatever, or same nature, and they're not going to honor that. They're going to be like, who the hell you think you are? What you talking about? Well, can I cheat too? That's what you're going to get. So most women will never honor that.
Trev, don't you do that.
Say
2 weeks 2 weeks ago, King talk when I told you what do most women respond with, and you said that ain't what they respond with. I said yes, they do. They ask, "Can I cheat too?"
I didn't disagree with that. I know that's what I'm saying. The average man, for the average man, yes, that's what it is for the.
So
average
we can
man.
agree that it's hard for women to receive a man's honesty. And it's hard for women to continue to
Absolutely.
value a
By
man in
and
that.
large.
It's hard for women to value a man in that capacity because she's thinking about what other women think. But in reality, we all acknowledge that when a man is dealing with multiple women, it demonstrates his value, and it also puts her value up as well too.
So Ali, I want to ask you a question. I want to go back to what you said earlier. Do you think women are more insecure when dealing with a man when she's in a relationship with him or when she's just fucking him? Which one is she's more insecure and more problematic?
Say it one more time.
A woman is more insecure and more problematic when she's just either in a relationship with a man or when she's just fucking a man. Which one?
I think it's more of a mindset of her mind. It's about what she's putting in her mind. She could be either way. She could be insecure in either of those, in those scenarios, or she could be empowered in any of those scenarios. I think it's the way she's thinking about it based on other people that's around her, based on what she's seeing in her environment, based on what she's seeing on TV. And it's based on
rationalize when they just like in a relationship. Like I said, they see things like, how dare you cheat on me? You better not. But so many women are just, giving up the ass to a dude that she likes. He can do whatever he wants to do. But the thing about it is that I was just saying, it's the how dare you cheat on me. You just fucking this dude and you okay with whatever he's doing. But the second y'all get in a relationship is how dare you? You can't have both ways. And that's the reason why I'm saying it's an egotistical thing. Because at the end of the day, if a man cheats, let him go. But the thing about it is, how many of y'all fucking dudes that is already fucking somebody else and you okay with him fucking somebody else because y'all ain't in a relationship?
That's the main thing to address. And you like the guy. And when a woman ain't in no relationship, she fantasy. She's like, he ain't dealing with nobody else, and I ain't even worrying about it. But you'll take that for 15 years. You'll ride that bad boy out, especially if you like the guy. The problem is if you don't like the guy and that guy cheats, and you be like, I know this ugly didn't cheat on me.
I know this. Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. Value.
Hold on.
Your perceived value.
Hold on.
That's not true at all.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all.
I
Make
think
sure we
y'all
shut
were
them mic, y'all. Let's make sure we shut them mic, y'all. Got some folks on the panels. It look like we losing them. It's the same people talking. So let's make sure we spread that mic. Miami 3, you want to chime in on this?
Oh shit.
I don't really, wait.
Oh shit.
I really don't have
mine what?
Okay,
well,
well,
all day. What's up?
Okay, well, we'll get your
I
we'll
really
get your
don't have nothing to
next
say.
one.
The only thing I'm gonna say, women, I feel like in situations, like not all marriages, not all this, but most women, they be ready to leave just like the man ready to leave because they already know who they want to be with. And there's a lot of things that most women don't like to talk about. They know who they want to be with if it don't work out. And that's why I hate when men say, oh, I'm going to stay in this relationship for my kid, my wife, I need my family. Baby, she ready for you to leave too. Because she already know who she want to be with after you. So that's why I feel like it's a lose-lose situation on who gets affected or not. It's still going to be, it's a losing game sometimes when it comes down to it, because at the end of the day, y'all really don't know who y'all be marrying. Y'all don't know half the women y'all be marrying. It's sad.
Also, can we put the
thing? Whole hoes out here.
I will also say I don't think that you guys are actually giving enough credence to women being irrational in their emotional behavior, because those women who are sitting in situationships with you for 3-4 years and keep getting picked over, she also has a sense of entitlement. She just doing it behind closed doors.
That's it.
You always having a correct type of behavior. And we seen it with the girl. Well, I saw it with the girl with Bow Wow. He was sitting up there telling her, I'm not your man. We not together. And this girl is, you are with me. You like, women lie to themselves all the time and say, well, he's still having sex with me. He care about me. Yep. I know he would say he my boyfriend. So that control, that territory, the competition is always happening. I think that we're getting hung up on the out loud outrage, like she knows my boundaries. If she make this public, I'm done messing with her, versus the actual entitlement of the girlfriend. If you make me your girlfriend and we're out loud in love and everybody know we together, of course I'm going to.
You're embarrassing me then.
Exactly, as opposed to a woman who's been sleeping with you behind closed
Right.
doors for 5-6 years. I can't really just tell everybody my business because I done told people I don't really deal with you like that. But I'm still gonna act entitled. And I'm still gonna argue with other women. I'm gonna still
you know what?
boundaries. Women do that
So
all the
Paris,
time.
now you see what I'm saying about the entitlement and the ego. Then it's all
Let go.
fake.
Hold
It's
on.
all
The
bullshit.
crazy part about it and why side chicks don't last long because they be faithful. How you faithful to a married man? You gonna lose, sweetheart.
Y'all making my point.
That's all I'm saying.
It's a woman's mind. It's a woman's mind.
Lying.
Also, can we put the bed why women want to know the truth? Because I know we always talk about how women say, man, just be honest with me. Most women only want you to be honest with them to give them the option to say no.
Exactly.
It ain't about trying to figure out whether they not gonna stay. They just want the option to say, I'm good.
I was saying be honest up front, not like what Paris was saying, like, tell me when you about to go do it. No, that's not a conversation. When you have a relationship with somebody, these are the things that I'm going to be, that I'm going to do. This is what I expect. And you have that up front. And then, the person can either say yes or no. But no, I think that it's better to know up front versus, 10 years later, well, this is what I've been doing. Oh, I didn't want to tell you because I don't want to hurt your feelings. Well, it's too late. You already probably hurt that person's feelings. So you should just tell them right away. Don't be shy. Don't be scared to lose a lady. I think that it'll be better. And then you could just
Lady die.
Ali, hold on, wait. But Lady Di, what you have to understand is that men already know that's not an option in majority of the situations. We know if I tell you, hey, look, we gonna deal with each other. I want to be in a relationship with you, but I want to fuck other women. It's gonna be a no 99 times out of 100.
Not.
Mr. Lego, please.
Okay.
Even if it is though.
We know this to be true because women don't accept it.
So you really with any woman unless you lie to her?
They accept it, bro.
If it was that, why do men lie?
I'm gonna tell you why they don't accept it.
Hold on, y'all. One mic.
Is it better to just lie?
No, I'm gonna tell you why they don't accept
it. They saying it's working for them.
Hey, we only need 2 people talking at a time. We need 2 people talking at a time because they cannot hear us. So when 2 people are debating something, just let them have it. Everybody else just fall back. And everybody check the back chat for me.
Okay, so Sweeney, the reason why, or whoever said it, I think it was Lego, the reason why it's not accepted is because most of you guys are doing and saying the same thing. So a lot of women follow like what someone else is doing. Yes. So like, for example, if a lady has 10 friends, all of her friends are in a quote unquote monogamous relationship, right? Because the man told her, this is what we're going to do, blah, blah. She says, okay. But if she had 10 friends that was in a poly relationship, then she would sit here and be like, how do y'all do that, and ask questions and then learn to see what the mindset is, and then they will eventually have to move accordingly.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
So the thing is, here's the problem.
It's all fake.
Hold on, here's the problem with that. We're assuming that this woman has 10 friends around her that are in poly relationships. We are in America. There is no poly relationships.
I just told you why. I said because
most
of y'all are not telling the truth. Like there's men on here. To me, I'm saying I don't think a lot of y'all. I mean, maybe men that are more confident to not care about losing somebody because they got other options. But there's some guys that want this specific person because she is good for him in all of these areas. So he's not going to sit here and say, well, you're going to be my wife, but I'm going to have 1 or 2 on the side. No one is just going to say that because they don't want to lose a special person.
So because most of the time they're going to lose her.
Let Precious and Chanel come in.
Well, shit, we was having a conversation, Mr. Let Go.
Hey, Let Go, come on, man.
Come
on, Let Go. Come on, Let Go. Come on.
Got Trev.
Don't start that, man. Don't start that. Please don't start that.
Most women ain't gonna allow that. We gotta understand that. That's most men's reality, unfortunately. Men would love to be honest. If we knew, like, if men knew that they could say, hey, look, I just want to go ahead and smash somewhere else real quick, right? I'm gonna have some other girls supplying the McLovin for a little while. I'm not going nowhere, but
nigga said McLovin.
This is what I want. on the side right here. If we knew that you would say, yeah, everybody's doing it. You gonna have pure honesty. You don't have to worry about no dudes lying, running around. You good. They would tell you. They'll talk about it with you. You could exchange stories. It is what it is. But once you start, but the reaction is the problem. Most women's reaction is like, no, you're not gonna get that off. And most men
Chanel pressure.
understand
How many
that.
times? How many times? How
Chanel
many
pressure.
times did a woman say no to you guys when you said you wanted to do that?
Say that again.
I have two questions. How many times has a woman said no to you guys when you said, "Hey, I got me a little, you know, I got me my main, but I want me a couple on the side." How many have said no to you?
To me specifically?
To all the guys.
Me in
particular. Because I mean,
no.
It depends on a woman. It depends on a woman. Some women
It depends on the woman, and it depends on age. When we younger, they ain't going with it because what's taught. When they get older, they down with it, but it's too late because they already bet on other men and they already been run through and compromised. That's the problem. All them times they say nope. I'm gonna go to the liar. They go to the liar and they come back and go, all men ain't ish. All men cheat. All men lie. They go to the next guy. He lied too. They keep going with the liars. Everybody who tells the truth, they out to the next guy till they 35 years old. Then they get 35. They go, you know what? Maybe dudes do like multiple women, but it's too late because you bet against the guy you wanted. That's the problem. That's why cheating hurts men worse because you're telling your man that you bet on everything that this man's gonna be better than the man you with. You put everything on this next man, and that's what happens when men tell you the truth, and you say, "Let me choose," and you choose another man. It's hard to come back
How
from
many
that.
women have you told the truth to that said yes? That they're okay with
Out of all the women you done talked to,
it worked out, but of course it didn't last that long.
I can't say I had a valid relationship. I haven't had a valid relationship like that.
It wasn't
but I've definitely had women that was like that I dealt with that was with it and didn't want to deal with anybody else.
Hey, hold on.
I think the biggest factor
there's no yes
is your
or no.
perceived.
The proof is in the pudding.
They'll say yes.
The biggest factor is your perceived value. There's no doubt about that. If a woman values you enough,
she's gonna let you do
like
it.
She's gonna be missing out. You gonna get that off.
Nah, it's just like this.
You enough, or
we're missing an aspect of
value the man. See, it's two different things. It's two different things. Either she's gonna say no because she doesn't want another woman stealing you away from her, or either she's gonna say yes because she doesn't want you to leave her and just go be single.
The first question here's the tricked out part because everybody's missing. Most of the time, you're gonna be unsuccessful with it. You're going to get one or two answers. One or two answers. She's going to say, sure, I want to do it too. And if you say no, I only want to do it and you can't, she's going to say no. That's more than like unless.
That's the first one. That's the test. That's the test.
There's a small few women.
That's the first one.
And there's a small few women that's going to go out there and say, sure, I'll sign up for that. Very few women would do it.
This is the reason why I disagree with you. There are so many women who have come out and embarrassed themselves and that man by saying, you know what, I had a threesome just to make him happy. There are so many women who compromise themselves just to be with the man because she see his value. She see things in him that she feel like other women see as well, and she's trying to do above and beyond to appease him. So I just really feel like in this conversation, because the question that Precious asked was, how many of you individually has tried it? And all y'all are saying y'all ain't technically tried it, or you didn't have long success.
We have tried it. No, we didn't say that.
It wasn't a real relationship.
In general, right? So what I'm saying is, like, I really think that if this was something that was happening in mass, the men were preferences that first, what would we say? How can we control that? All we do is follow in line with y'all.
No, y'all won't. Y'all ain't following the line right now.
Women following the line right now.
That's not what we do. We lie all the time. These women be saying they be sitting up in the house doing nothing but end up pregnant. That is
women
not
be
true.
lying. Yeah.
We lie all the time.
What I will say though is
go ahead.
because of, I always say that we need to control our mouths. I always say that's one of the first things that we need to get under control when dealing with ourselves in a man, because you can't get it control for yourself, you're not going to have a control for a man. But I will say that because of the reaction that men have gotten, whether it's been the men on this panel or not, because of the reaction and probably the theatrics or whatever, they're not met with let's talk about this. Is it something that you've always wanted? Like, let's get a little bit further into. Women are at a hard stop. Nah, I'm gonna do it too. You're not going, So I think that has played to the notion and to the theory that all men say, well, if I told her the truth, she based off of one or two or
experience.
Or right, whatever the situation may be, but there's a bigger picture that when a man comes to a woman with the truth, she's not necessarily receiving it as she should as a woman.
Right.
She's
That's what we're
already
saying.
combating it. She's already saying, well, why would you want to do that? I'm enough. And this and that, instead of saying, you know what, let's have this conversation. Let's have this open conversation. And at the end, she still may not agree with it, but at least a man can't say, oh, well, she had this harsh reaction to me and I'm never going to her with the truth again.
Right.
Because
I also feel like
you're setting a foundation that you can't be feminine and receive what a man is saying to you. You automatically hop into that masculine, and a man don't want to be met with masculine energy, no matter what he's coming to.
Yeah, but the most important part with that, you have to come in with that type of. You got to come in with that type of energy.
Let go, please, man.
Let me say one thing.
Chanel trying to come in and say something.
I understand that, but
you ain't the host. Let go.
I got it. You got to let go. Never talking, then we go to Chanel and then Mommy.
Okay.
So I think the most important thing, right? Just go ahead and if you're going to do that as a man, come in with that energy. It's not something that you could drop on them like 2 years in, 3 years into the relationship. You got to come with that energy off rip and see if she's going to accept it. Because, like I said, transparency. But like again, most men have to realize it's not happening. For real, it's not going to happen. You have to know what type of female you're dealing with. No, don't even try it.
Most women ain't going.
All right, go ahead.
I know.
Since we're talking about men's nature, I don't know why we ignore women's nature. If most women are not trying to deal with this, maybe it's women's nature to not have their men want to sleep around or sleep around. Perhaps actually understanding that women are territorial with their men too, perhaps understanding that can give you guys a little bit more understanding in how women think too. Yes, some women will accept it, but that's the second layer, or that's like, okay, well, I guess I have to accept this because this is the type of man I'm with. But a woman's first choice is never to have a man philander around.
That's a lie.
That's
a whole lie. That's a whole lie.
Let go.
What the hell you talk about?
Bro, you're lying.
But if it's a lie, Mr. Let Go.
What's a lie? What's how he lying?
If it's a lie. If it's a lie, then there should be plenty of men with multiple women right now.
No.
What I'm saying is, go ahead, Ali. I think we about to say the same thing.
The problem is what Precious said. The men aren't committing to it enough. Men are breaking to women. If we can already have multiple women without committing to you, and I bet you the guy that you dealing with had multiple women prior to you. I bet every man that's in a relationship had multiple women prior to you, and you made that man get rid of all his women for monogamy that might not even work, because most of monogamy ain't working either. So why men are giving up polygamy that was working to get for monogamy that ain't working with women. But women will engage. What'd you say?
Monogamy built the country.
I can't make
You said what?
Hold on, y'all.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Ali.
Okay, don't worry. But the point is, if men committed to the truth and we all stood on code, it'd be more prevalent. I believe what Precious saying. If more men just told the truth straight up, women would just have to get in line. Because you earn marriage. Men are. It's like women are given the marriage. It's really women earning the marriage. So if you see the value of your man, he said, "Nah, I ain't doing that." And most men say, "Nah." Even the scrub, I ain't doing that. You gonna have to marry the man and accept that he does that.
Well, men offer marriage, but women have to accept marriage.
Hold on, Paris. Hold on.
You didn't listen to what I said.
I did listen to what you said.
Remember, I told. So listen real fast. Women share men already. Once they get the title of marriage, you make a man change. If he don't change, if he doesn't change, you go to the liar, and then the liar cheats, and you go, oh God, men ain't shit. That's what keeps happening.
And the liar is the one that has
Hold on,
all the women that you
hold
already
on.
knew about.
Hold on.
Just
I'm
one
I'm trying to hear the exchange between Ali and Chanel.
You're talking about a strictly sexual relationship. If a
No, I'm not.
woman is so in this scenario, this man is having an intimate relationship with all of these ladies.
Most guys, as we get older, when we're younger, we'll probably hit a tree. But when men get older, they're extremely picky, and they deal with the woman they typically deal with. They'll deal with that woman for life if she don't ask for marriage. Ask the brothers up here. When we're younger, we'll probably hit everything that's moving. We're not that. How can I say it? We're not all the way into understanding what our manhood is about yet. But when we get older, we're extremely picky about where our manhood goes, and we want to be able to wake up to who we sleep with. When we're younger, it's different. But when we get older, the woman we typically deal with, we'll ride out to the sunset with her, and then she'll go, "Are we gonna get married?" The women that would typically ask for marriage. Most men ain't just running to marriage.
All right, hold on, Swin. I got you. Let me get.
I'll just let you know I have one last thing to say about it, but no, let them rock it out.
All right, go ahead, Mommy 3.
Mic check. Y'all hear me? All right. So I just gotta say something to let Miss Let Go, and the reason why those women say yes to him, for him dating multiple women, is because he tricking off. So most women, they say yes when it benefits them in a way. They stay in them like Mr. Let Go, a little player, a little podcast, little thought. So every woman it's the group of women he entertained. That's why those type of women say, "Oh, I don't care what you do, long as because he tricking off. He paying something on these women. He paying a little bill. He probably
Tires,
doing
that's about it.
Yeah.
Tires, and I put some food in your stomach. That's it.
You paying for more than that. Yeah, you ain't gotta speak about it,
That's-
but it's all right.
That still goes back to what we was talking about.
know what
How
that's
much the
saying.
perceived
I know
value, right?
Tires.
Most women do that to men where they feel like they can take advantage of. So they look at you as like, okay, he an older dude, he's single, he divorced. Oh, he a trick. I can get something from him. I'm just being real. That's what we'll say. We'll say that about you. We don't even see you as somebody we can be with unless you really, really got some bread. Really, really got some bread. You gotta have a lot of money for a woman to commit
Mommy, you
to
contradict.
So that kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the value.
I thought money didn't matter.
How much the
You said money didn't
actually
matter,
values
Mommy.
you.
I'm talking about for the tricks. Those type of women, they don't want to be with you either. They probably ain't gonna even text you back half of the time unless you don't send them
But
some money.
Mommy, what if you don't trick though?
You do.
Okay.
You do. Because I'm gonna tell you another thing. Most
trick.
women, if they really, really like you, they ain't gonna ask for shit. Because most women fuck for free. If they really like you, they'll give it away for free.
And that's what I'm saying.
You ain't giving it away for free. You a trick.
Okay.
Somebody
You know you buying that
you a
coochie.
trick.
I don't know why you even fronting on
So
here,
if most women give it away for free, should most men get married today?
Because if they giving it away for free, why the hell somebody gonna pay for it?
I'm
That's
telling you,
stupid.
if a woman really like a dude,
Because what she's saying is somebody will.
I'm not asking, Bobby. I'm asking you.
So many women got kids
But
by
it's-
men that ain't got shit.
Right.
So I'm
why
asking
would
you.
a dude trick? It's stupid to trick.
They be tricking though. You right, Mommy. You right.
He
tricking.
I ain't gonna even lie. You don't hit the wall. Hey, you at a certain age. Hey,
Oh, did she say I don't hit the wall?
when a man get to a certain age,
Men do
Damn.
hit the wall.
Hey, tricky.
When we see an older man, when a younger woman see an older man, they think of money instantly. They don't think I want to be with him. They think of money. When you hit a certain age, a man hit a certain age, that's why he can get plenty of pussy at like young coochie. Cause they looking at you as an opportunist. And guess what? If you ain't got enough, she gonna give somebody that got enough too.
But the thing about it is,
Mr. Leg, you just gonna take that?
No money. The dude is getting everything he needs.
You know he's a trick.
No money.
Let go. You supposed to hit her with.
Hold on. So if there's an assumption that the dude may trick off, but never tricks off.
So you telling me
Let
that
go.
every woman that you talk to, she just really, really love your personality. She love everything about you.
I don't spend shit on no woman, not one woman.
This
Other
nigga
than,
lie.
other than,
So all
other,
that money
other
you
than, like
got,
I said, we're gonna go out to eat. We're gonna go out to eat. We're gonna do some things every now and then or whatever.
I'm
but
done.
I don't spend shit on no
done,
woman.
Cause he lying. I'm done.
Okay, don't make no difference to me.
Right,
Sorry.
Hey, let go. You getting beat up. Let go.
See, we still talking about two different types of dudes, though.
Mommy 3
This
acting
goes
like
back to the
she's
vibe I was
single.
talking about. Because if it's a dude that she really likes, she is going to give it away for free, and he may not have to spend nothing. Old cats, sometimes they do got a trick. I understand that, but it's two different types of dudes. There's dudes who have perceived value no matter how you spend it. If it's a dude she really attracted to, maybe she feel like he has charisma or pizzazz, or he just that dude, he got status. It could be money. He don't have to spend it on him, but just to know that he got money.
Do y'all hear
He
what
got
y'all be saying?
status.
Do y'all hear what y'all saying sometimes though?
They're just talking in circles, bro. They're just talking circles.
So Trev, if that's the
Go ahead.
case of women behaving like that in their nature, who will most men get married to?
Nobody. We gonna get what we got today.
No. That's not what I'm asking. No. Please, just no. You just said most women just gonna give it to the guy they like for free, for nothing, right?
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's most men wifing up women that just gave it away for nothing.
Nope.
No.
That's why they don't marry those women that
Boy,
stay
But that's
with
a different dude. That same
Y'all,
woman
here
will
we go,
behave
man.
differently.
I was about to say, my bad. I misunderstood.
You understand that the same woman is going to behave differently with you than she is with me, right? You did
That's
that,
not
right?
what I'm asking. Are y'all saying up here see, my ego been gone. I don't even brag about this stuff no more.
no,
I brag about it when I'm asking you a direct question, brother. If
Go
men
ahead.
get married with a woman, especially if she 30 something and she wasn't married and single, did another man have his way with her and got her for free?
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. So then we end up marrying those women, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I want to say. That's all.
But that's what I said. I said the same chick is going to do one thing with you and then do something else with the next guy.
Ali, the value is in the time.
So then, as grown men, if we're not pushing for women to be virtuous or women body count to be low, or them to conduct themselves a certain way sexually in this modern day climate we in with dating, is the woman's value high or is her value low? And why we keep promoting young men to marry today's women?
Ali, in the real
It's way
world,
worse. And I don't promote marriage. I say boycott marriage until we get better. I don't promote marriage anymore.
Okay.
I am
How about
married,
you?
but
How
I
about you,
understand that
Lego?
the dating pool is way worse than it ever was.
Okay,
You have
Trev,
to
you
be
being
very
honest,
selective.
my brother. That's I respect that. Hey, let go. What you coaching? What you coaching over there?
I put women in a position to find a husband because you can't just be out here unmarried. Stupid.
Okay, let go. Go. Hey, Sweetie, how about you, Sweetie? What you promote?
I'm gonna be real with you. I ain't no coach, bro. I don't coach nobody on anything. I just live my life.
Okay.
I'm married. I can't. It's hard for me to actively speak against something I participate in. So
thank you.
So I'm gonna ask my sisters.
Not for me.
Should sisters be promoting better behaviors from women for marriages and relationships to flourish instead of supporting a thought culture?
Absolutely.
Yep. Lady Di teaches those
I will
classes.
always
Yes. Lady Di be doing her thing.
Yeah, you have to if we don't as ladies promote it, then it's just gonna be too many hoes walking around. I'm getting tired of seeing their ass. So we need to promote more so we can have more families, because I got 4 sons and I need my sons to have wives, period. So that's it.
Well, I don't care about the holism. I also care about the act of putting families back together, giving children strong boundaries.
Okay, parent. Okay.
Those types of things. If a single woman is going to be a hoe and do that thing on her own time, as long as she don't have a lot of other women that she can influence for a domino effect that could be easily manipulated and swayed, I could care less about her. I do want her to get less attention, but I promote marriage because we need to understand the value of having a man in the home, and we also need to stop trying to propagate that women are okay because they got a big bank and they can do everything on their own, because the kids suffer in the end and the community fail as a whole.
Yes, indeed. And most definitely, I feel like single mothers, they need to find mentors. If the father ain't in the house, stop putting that son on a game all the time. Go take him to play football. Let him hang around men. And what women don't understand, dating all these multiple people as a single mother, the time you spent having just unreasonable sex and going on these unnecessary dates, you taking time from your kids. So I always remember that.
Mommy 3, you got to be the example first.
I am the example.
You can't teach your kid something different from what you're doing.
What you talking about?
I'm just saying. I'm just speaking in general. I'm just speaking in general because we hear a lot of women say that, and they talk about how man, you gotta be there, but you're not practicing the very thing.
Yeah,
my
son used to always play on games. Now he's better. He's communicating better now since he's around a lot of men.
I don't think you got my point.
And even though I'm not,
he didn't mean about you, mommy.
Your lifestyle.
Hold on, y'all. Chanel, Samson, go ahead, Chanel.
Even though I'm not a coach or anything, I do try to just be an example of what a good Christian woman is. And then now that I'm almost 2 years into my marriage, being a good Christian wife as well. Also, I do in my day-to-day life, I do talk to young women who are interested in marriage and how to pinpoint who an honest man is and how to just navigate that space. So I do think it's important for young women today who are interested in marriage, how to actually recognize what a good man looks like, and also how to be a good woman as well.
I like her voice. Okay, Chanel. Okay.
And I always talk about what we need to do before the man. We talk about marriage. Even Trev Smooth, it was surprising that you don't promote marriage, but you're married. But it makes sense because, we talk about, the husband or the wife. It's like, who are you? I think Mommy 3 Love said, you don't even know who you're marrying. And then those people that you're marrying don't know themselves. So we have to get to a place where we really know ourselves holistically instead of going after social media. A lot of people didn't have the example either. I was blessed. I have parents who've been married for 35 years. So I got to see femininity. I got to see restraint. I got to see discipline. So those things are important. And, that's what I talk about. Before a man, you have to know yourself. You have to have peace within your soul. That's very important. And it takes a lot of people a long time to do that. And they think getting with somebody else, that person's going to complete them or they're going to put that puzzle, match that puzzle with them. And I do believe that we need to have balance, but we need to have overall reverence over ourselves.
Right. Now, I use the term boycott, right? I had a lot of videos and things that I made talking about boycotting marriage. Now, let's just take it back to a boycott we're familiar with. We're all familiar with the boycott of the buses. The idea was not for us to never ride the buses again, but we wanted them to change their practices. So once you go ahead and get that right, you become suitable for marriage, then we'll get back on board with that. So that's the whole thing. So if there's some women that I advise to, I'll tell them how they could be a wife, what men like, what men enjoy, what men appreciate. And men, there's a lot of work we have to do too. It's a whole bunch of weak men out here and not ready for marriage. They're not suitable for marriage either. So there's certain things that we have to do as men to get better. We have to become more masculine. We have to become more disciplined. And there's things we need to work on. A lot of people sitting around playing video games. We're not doing all of that. We're not ready to run a household. We playing 6 hours, 10 hours of video games and not getting paid for it. That ain't real. You can't do that. You can't run a household. You can't have children and guide them. And then you trying to do that. You're not going to be successful. So I ultimately appreciate marriage. And I think it's necessary for us to build strong families and build strong communities, right? The stats don't lie. What marriage does in most cases when you have a successful marriage and what happens with your children when you're in a healthy household. But the problem is a lot of us just ain't ready for it.
Don't you think? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think I have
we got to transition to the next topic too, y'all.
I think I have to counteract that, Trey, and I understand where you're coming from. But the thing is to say people are not ready for something. Of course, they're not going to be ready for something if they don't see an example of it, if they don't actually practice it, if they can't actually understand what conflict resolution look like, what forgiveness look like, what actually having emotional intelligence, like Mr. Letgo said, like when somebody make you mad, not being verbally or physically abusive to them. We do have to promote those things because, like, Mommy 3 is saying, when you got a woman and she's sitting in the house and she got this child by this man that she'd have made, but she constantly going out on dates with other men unsuccessfully, and she constantly can't figure out how to maintain a steady relationship, that's also not conducive to her or that child, because you still seeing her go through heartbreak. You're just seeing her do it with a man who's not your dad. It doesn't necessarily help us.
Also, a lot of them
these are also things that I address as well. It's about building to it. I don't just say don't do this. I actually bring steps towards, okay, what can we do better as men and women to get to that point for sure.
Also, a lot of them have wishy-washy relationships with the dad anyway. So like you maybe you dating around, but you're still screwing with the dad. So oftentimes it's like, are you better off without him, or should you just get with the person you've been? Because a lot of them will screw the dad and date these other dudes, but the dad can't be there, or they won't live with the dad, or something like that. All because like determine your relationship. A lot of them don't do that. They just let shit go. Let shit.
All right, we got to transition. You guys just tuned in. Welcome to Lapeef Let's Talk. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Got a few super chats and saying you want $2 says here's some honesty. All men want multiple ladies. Nelson Media 499 said Mr. Lego has no understanding of narcissism. I hope the audience doesn't take him seriously. Urbanology 101 $5 says stoicism, the endurance of pain or hardship without the display of feelings and without complaint. Big Mac 999 said Mr. Lego doesn't care about cheating because apparently he initiates cheating on his woman first. Hashtag cheat first. Ink in the basement $2 said Mr. Lego in Paris needs to pass it down, Mike.
That's Paris.
I ain't going nowhere. $5 said Mr. Lego. Stay contradicting, stay flip-flopping, stay interrupting, stay getting his ass handed to him. Every man on the panel beard is popping except his.
Yo, my beard is popping. I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
Mr. Lego, you can't be accountable for nothing.
You just be out here lying.
Yo,
he's a bold-faced lie right there.
Hey, Paris, if you found out Mr. Lego had a business for coaching women, would you go to it?
Absolutely not. And I see him on the timeline all the time. I keep scrolling.
Cause he a little sugar daddy.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Hold on, what? What was that part?
Maybe it's Maybelline.
I don't understand that. What does that mean?
There's Paris, boy.
You coach. Ask the women you coach. Ask the women you coach. Ask the women you coach.
First thing he gonna say is there's Paris, boy. Please, everybody here is talking. If you care the conversation, you care the conversation.
Paris, I'm just messing with you. Sheesh.
Nah, don't mess with me.
She said, absolutely not.
I know you're in real life. Calm down. Golly.
Mr. Lego, you must be talking to a little 20. You must be talking to a little 25-year-old, Mr. Lego. I see you in the gym. I see your little muscles about to pop out your
Y'all notice every woman Mr. Lego bring up that he done coach wind up being a problem.
Oh no, I never sleep with anybody that I coach. That's one thing I never.
I said everyone that you done brought up here, they always a problem.
What? Oh no, these my people. These my people.
Yeah, he got him a little young thing. He tricking off. Look at them arms. He been in the gym. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You ain't gotta tell love, but we know what's up.
Go get you some grapes, bro.
That's actually what's getting them, not no money. You know what I'm saying? These arms.
I'm telling you, a broke old man can't get no young unless he gotta pay something for him to get this. I'm telling you, it ain't no love, baby.
What's the old woman? Hey, fatty, Mr. Lego, you gotta hit her back. If he ain't hit the walls, you jump back with her. What an old woman gonna get? Maybe her walls are gone. That's why you can't touch the wall.
That's the difference.
Tires and tush.
Them walls. That's why they ain't touching the walls. The walls gone.
Ali, look, that's the thing. I don't have to clap back at her like that. I let her laugh.
Them walls gone.
On the one, I heard that thing snap back at 40.
Who said? Who go for what young man going after? Hold on, young man going after a old woman.
Think about this.
We got to get to the topic.
Her age and how many kids she got. It ain't no reason for me to say nothing. I'm just gonna
you still eating ass.
I don't clap
If you guys just tuned in, welcome to Lapeef Network. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, man. I know we got to talk about this. Y'all may have talked about it somewhere else, but we haven't talked about it here. We're going to talk about the Houston woman that was detained in Dubai and charged with the crime of screaming in public. Let me go ahead and play this clip for those that may not be familiar. And then I'm also play a clip from Pink Book Lessons with some more information that came out as well.
A very aggressive individual, a young man there who was screaming at her.
Baxter says her 29-year-old daughter ultimately yelled back at the rental car agent, she says, resulting in her being charged for screaming there in Dubai.
And so she is in jail for one reason and one reason alone. She raised her voice. In that country, a female is not even allowed to raise her voice. If she raises her voice, it's punishable by jail time.
It's been very emotional. There are some days I stay up all night crying.
They have a strict law system that is really based on theocracy.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and play this from Pink Book Lessons. So apparently she's done this in Puerto Rico. And
shit.
Yeah, so I'm going to play some clip. It might be not lengthy, but a little longer than anticipated because she's giving some commentary in between. So just be patient as I play this video.
All right, so after this information came out about the sassy truck driver and her situation in Dubai, you have one of her former friends who came out and she posted this on IG. She said, "Same chick that poured drinks on my husband, trying to taunt him to react." The video shows the sassy trucker throwing drinks on him, calling him the B word multiple times. One of the other women there, she said the same thing. It was apparently a group trip that they went on to Puerto Rico. So you had other witnesses there as well. And one of the other witnesses, her name is Mexi Marie. She came out and had a lot to say. She said she got trashed, poured pop on my homegirl husband's head, calling him all types of B's, throwing bottles, breaking stuff, embarrassing. And then one of the other women on the trip, the wife of the husband that she threw the bottle at, said that she's a violent drunk. She made the Puerto Rico trip weird with her drunk, insecure, disrespectful self. Sorry to say, but she gets what she gets. And then Mexi Marie came back and said yes, arguing, screaming at the top of her lungs, so aggressive and disrespectful towards all the men. And Nelly said, "It's crazy because my husband not a woman beater and he was more concerned with us getting back home than going to jail in Puerto Rico. I wanted to get her out of there for the weird ass that she was doing, but look at her now. She good for it, LOL, she guilty." And then Mexi came back and said, "Right, I remember when he was trying to make sure that she was safe. She assaulted him more than once in the same night. I still have the videos too." They're saying that's the moment right there where she poured drinks on the other woman's husband. As you can see, he did not react to her, but they said she kept taunting him, trying to get him to put hands on her, but he didn't do it. Meanwhile, she's calling him B words. According to witnesses, the whole time her boyfriend was there on this trip with them, on this group trip, he was telling her to chill out, but she would not listen. She even put hands on him too. So then another person in the comments who didn't know them, they came in to defend Sassy, and that
I'm gonna try to get to the part where
she
did it in
knows how she is and has been for years. As for that one guy coming in defending this nonsense, talking about the report said nothing about this or that, the report doesn't say anything besides y'all come rally behind this disrespectful out of order woman because she's leaving out a lot to protect her daughter. Out showing that she has a history of this. Dubai is not her first situation, all around the house.
Okay, I can't find it. But yeah, she did it in Puerto Rico and somewhere else. So she has a history of acting like this. She is a social media influencer. She's a truck driver. We often see the women that are showcasing their bodies and their trucker bays and doing the thing. So I do want to talk about it. Apparently they don't play in Dubai. I guess a lot of people haven't learned from the Britney rent a situation, but when I go out of the country, I don't plan on messing around, because you're not on U.S. soil, and I'm not trying to be in nobody's jail out the country. So let's go ahead and talk about it. I want to get you guys' thoughts about everything that's happened. There has been some additional information, so apparently she does have a history of this. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Chanel first.
Yeah, so I just learned about this today. I'm an avid traveler. I've talked about that on this panel. Americans, if you're gonna go out to another country, you need to hold yourself with certain decorum. If you're going to a Middle Eastern country, it's best to go with a man. Dubai is a little bit more lax. However, there are still many things you cannot do. It looks as though she did more than just scream, but even that, you cannot do that in other countries. I don't think you should be doing it here in the United States either, but you can get locked up, and other countries' jail sometimes is worse than United States jail. So it's really unfortunate that she had to go to jail for it. But when you leave to another country, you need to know the rules and the laws of other countries. So there really is no excuse. And it seems as though she has a history of violent behavior. So I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Lady Di.
Well, I like that they shared with us that she did get locked up for, raising her voice, because we as women over here need to understand that you cannot just be raising your voice because it's a level of disrespect, not just to a man, but to anybody. We just have to walk around more with level head and take our emotions and put it in the back of our head, but make sure in front is that you're holding yourself with a certain demeanor. You don't want to come off being so feisty and sassy and all of this stuff because you can't get what you want. You just got to make sure that you are just speaking with a level of intelligence. Sometimes people could tick you off where it's hard to do that, but it's not impossible. You just have to learn how to do it. Now, when you go overseas in different spaces, there's laws. There's many different laws. It's not just that. There's other laws that you have to worry about. So if you, like Chanel said, if you're going to go over there, you need to make sure that you are very respectful, but you also need to be respectful here, because now, okay, cool. So she got locked up over there, but on this side of town, people still walking around doing what they want to do, yelling and causing scenes, and people getting killed over it. So at the same time, I think it's just a wake up call that here in America, we have it very different. They say it's free. So I guess we're free to do whatever we want. But it's also bad to have that, because now people are having toxic relationships, destroying families, destroying communities, and they're not able to level up and elevate. So that's what I have to say.
All right, let me go ahead and go to Sweeney.
So Chanel said it's unfortunate that this happened to her. It ain't unfortunate. She got exactly what she deserved. And we're using a story that she just simply raised her voice. No, that's the story she told us. Dubai haven't came out and said anything about what she did. We don't know what she actually did. And judging by off of the personal accounts from her friends, she was exactly like all them other people who get caught up in that's been getting locked up at TSA because they've been tearing people's shit up, throwing stuff, trying to fight everybody, getting loud and obnoxious. Like, that's exactly what she was when she went over there. So when they locked her up, I don't believe for 1 second that all she did was raise her voice. No, she got mad because she had to pay for something and started throwing stuff, probably tore up a few things, probably threatened a guy and everything else. And they called the police on her like any other normal person would. And she got locked up for it. But she want to call home and tell her mama that, oh, all I did was get loud with him. No, you was acting a damn fool over there. So, yeah, ain't unfortunate at all. She got exactly what she deserved. That's what people who act a fool get. You go over there acting a fool, they're going to lock your goofy ass up.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to learn our lesson from that Carly situation. Let's get all the facts first before we decide to identify what really happened. Let me go ahead and go to Paris. Go ahead. struggle streaming?
Okay, I think my mic on. I think that Americans a lot of times have a lot of entitlement and ignorance. So when we travel abroad, and I'm speaking in general, when we travel abroad, we take that type of mentality to those other places, and it's natural to get complacent because you behave a certain way. But as adults, you need to know how to behave and react. I also believe that there was a lot of missing information to that. However, Dubai is a very traditionalized Muslim place. So even though that there are a lot of missing pieces to the information because we only got one side, I absolutely believe that that was probably a reason why she could have been locked up in the first place. So another thing is, I don't think it's necessary to attempt to disparage her character by adding in those other people' personal grievances with her. If you ain't handling when you had the opportunity to, it really don't matter because Dubai locked her up.
Okay. Go ahead, like that.
I think they probably just said it because they're saying, you know, she didn't just raise her voice. I think someone else was saying that she was doing more because here, look at this example. Look what she did right here. So if she's over somewhere else, she don't even know those people. So she probably think they're not going to do nothing to say nothing. And they'll just let her get away with it. So it's just an example to show that she a damn fool.
Oh, I agree. I just don't think it was necessary. I agree that they're probably adding on to it and trying to create emphasis around it, but it really wasn't necessary because she's already locked up. So just adding emphasis to it to counteract this story, like, okay, then now we have this information. What do you want us to do with it? Because there are already people who are going, well, why was she yelling at a man in the first place? You know, you can't go outside in America and just start yelling and being belligerent and causing a scene without somebody calling the police and they coming and seeing it. It's
Well,
just here, it's just here that the consequences are not as extreme.
I think the reason why they were adding emphasis and speaking about that was because there's a lot of people saying that, trying to have her basically saying free her at this moment, saying, oh no, Dubai is wrong for what they did. So that's the reason why they spoke up and said, this is the same person that y'all are out here trying to defend. This is how she behaves. So I think they were adding it for context in regards to how we over here in America are seeing the situation. And you have a lot of people trying to step in and say, all she did was raise her voice. And they're like, no, we don't think that all she did was raise her voice. Here's a pattern of behavior with her. So I just think they were just informing people, hey, look, don't assume
don't stand
that she's been doing wrong.
And also highlighting this story is important because Americans are traveling again. And if you're going to be out there in people's backyards, you need to know how to act. And looking at this woman's behavior is a great example of what not to do in certain countries, in anybody's country, but definitely this country.
All right, go ahead, Trey. Smooth. We can't hear you. On mute, sir.
My bad. I'm going to say that most men are actually very happy that this happened, and I'm going to, just because of what she represents, right? A ratchet woman who's usually never held accountable, right? And it angers people to see women like this expecting to be able to behave in this manner and never be held accountable. We need to hold women accountable sometimes, and we don't always how we should. So a lot of men saw this and were like, you know what? This is good for her because it's an example, and it's just corrective action. It should have happened. People have to understand when you decide to go abroad, you have to know where you're going. It is a crime that's punishable for a year in Dubai to scream. It is a crime for you to be able to use any curse words. You can't do that in public. There's certain things that you just can't do, and you have to know where it is that you're going. And you have to also understand that they don't view women in the same light. There are places that are close to there that just now started allowing women to even drive. It's a difference. It's not, you don't have the same civil liberties that you do over here, and most people just don't get that. When you decide to go over there, it's different. The jails, it's different. The guns that the police carry is different. Dubai doesn't have any crime. They leave their cars open. You watch a lot of YouTube videos, you'll see them. They have the cars unlocked. Nobody rummages through it. Everything is okay. They want to be able to maintain that type of standard. They don't want the ratchet down there, and they're not going to tolerate it. And people have to understand that when you go to these other countries, the punishments are harsh. You can't bring that type of behavior there. You shouldn't really act like that anywhere. And that's the lesson. That's why people are actually happy about it, because that behavior is not really acceptable anywhere. It shouldn't be, but it's just tolerated here. And that's what the problem is. You're able to just do whatever it is that you want to do, but you can't do that in real life. You can't do that everywhere you go.
Yeah, she thought she was still in the hood with trash on the ground and police around the
Yeah.
corner, and she just wasn't there. She wasn't there. She was unruly. She's an unruly woman. That's what she is. That's what you call an unruly woman. In Paris, when you were talking about why they, showed the other instances where she was being unruly, I think it's just because of that. She's an unruly woman, and at the end of the day, when she poured the soda or the drinks on the man, she was trying to get a reaction out of him. And it's like, okay, how unruly can you get? You still on vacation, you with your man and other people and their man, and you still showing your ass. Dubai said, look, get her out of here. And they're gonna do that with any. Can you imagine if the US had this law, how many black women would be in jail?
I would absolutely love it. I would love it. I would love it. Lock their asses
I
up.
think it wouldn't happen.
Actually, you know
I think
what?
it wouldn't
That's what
happen.
I'm saying. So the Karens ain't gonna go to jail. A lot of
No,
them.
actually, it does
They
happen
go
over
to
here.
jail too. But I'm just saying, black women, like I said earlier, the first thing that we need to get together is our mouths. Because it's a natural thing for her. It's a natural thing for our mouths to be unruly. That is something that we have to tame. We have to practice. We have to
Yep.
be mindful of. We do. As women, we just do. I just feel like it's one of the first things. You got to get your mind right first, but then your mouth got to follow. It just has to, because it can get you into a lot of trouble. Your mouth is a two-edged sword. It could either build someone up or slice them down.
I think I just looked at the video of them like counteracting her mom and this lawyer differently, because for what I took from it was that people were basically using that as a moment to say, well, this is why I don't F with her, which is fine. And also what you guys said, I also believe it to be true, because on social media, the first thing that people do is pull the black woman card. Why is she being treated like this? She shouldn't be being mistreated, or they shouldn't hold her. Same thing that they did with Brittany Griner. The base premise of it is you cannot go to other people's countries with your individualistic privilege entitlement from your country and then turn around and try to apply rules and metrics as if the U.S. is going to be able to impose on their laws. We don't have that much power, especially in Dubai, because they're not just based in their political structure. Their political structure aligns with their religious structure. And that's where I was coming from with it. Like, I get it. They use that as an opportunity to say, hey, don't jump on this bandwagon. She always act like this. But I also think it was kind of like one of the things where people are seeing this person get this attention and they trying to use it as an opportunity to say, I don't F with her anyways because of X, Y, and Z. And I just feel like that was unnecessary.
And there's another thing in Dubai and some other countries that's against the law also. Do y'all know what that is? Single motherhood.
And premarital sex.
You can't run around having no fatherless babies in other countries. So with all of these laws in other countries being shown and publicized, hopefully somebody in America is looking at this like a politician and saying, hey, let's see if we can get a bill passed where we can stop this stupid shit from happening over here and lock their asses up over here. I would love to see more ratchet ass women getting locked up for doing ratchet shit. And more women who run around having fatherless babies, lock their asses up and put their babies up for adoption and let somebody adopt their goddamn baby.
Because overseas they don't have government assistance. They don't have the things
that
America have. That's
America
why
making money off of that.
Right.
Yeah,
like America
that's
making
sad.
money off that. So overseas
Sad.
you can't do all of that. They don't provide assistance for those women. So that's why
It's illegal to have debt in Dubai. You can't have debt.
Damn, that's real strict. Go ahead, Ali.
Well, I mean, I hear everybody. We always talk about we want stronger men. We tired of weak men. We want stronger women. We don't want weak women. Does this mean that we need to adopt a lot of these laws that's overseas? Do we need to
Yeah.
start controlling what men are doing? Do we need to start control what women are doing? Do we need to make people get in shape, make people control their manhood and womanhood, be more responsible of how you behave,
Yep.
respect each other more, just like Jews, those immortals, like them people, you can't disrespect those people. Should we implement laws where we can't disrespect ourselves or each other, you know? And a lot of things that we know about too, there's many a times where women utilize their voice to get men hurt, dropped off, stomped out, and taken out of this world. So if I gotta control myself and not violate you, women have to control their voice. Women's voice is very powerful. They can get a lot of things done with their voice. As y'all can see, a lot of things that's been going on mainstream with the little white baby and the woman saying she got abducted and stuff. And then who was those two those content creators that were with each other, and then his wife attacked him, and then she called the cops and act like as if he was being attacked. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all remember what I'm talking about? But with her voice, our women's voice is extremely powerful, and when they can weaponize their voice. So if a woman puts a man in a position where violence can occur to him or anybody else or all other women, I think she should go to jail. Just like a man should go to jail if he weaponizes himself against any woman or any man. We need stricter laws, but I also believe in this too. Historically, what's happened to us? All these people that's pushing all this no fat shaming, pushing LGBT, pushing all these initiatives for us to disrespect the thought culture, all these things to ruin ourselves. We need to put them people in jail, and then we need to do a rehabilitation on the rest of society and get ourselves together, like a strict rehabilitation too. I ain't talking about that therapy. I'm talking about like hands-on. It's time to get our people together. We creating warriors and we creating divine women and that create beautiful babies that we taking care of, and we all need to respect and come together in a better way, man. I think we need to implement laws that make us stronger people.
Well, Ali, to your point, I absolutely agree with you. We should be implementing and adopting a lot of these practices that these other countries that are third world have, considering the fact that we keep preaching traditionalism, but we keep preaching conditional traditionalism. Right. And that's where I have the issue, right? Like, so I can't sit here and say, well, I want a man to be a provider and I want a man to lead me, but I'm so dead set against submission. You can't get one without the other. You can't sit here and say, well, I want a woman to be able to honor me, but I'm only going to do that if she does X, Y, Z, if she is giving sex, if she is doing, and it's like, it has to start from both sides, honest and true, and we have to be able to go back to that completely to be able to adopt those practices. It can't just be conditionally.
All right, let me see if it's Sweeney, Treya, Chanel, and Lady Di Precious in there. Anybody want to chime in? Say something else? Good. All right, Treya, Lady Di, Chanel.
Wow.
I mean, I just say like we just gotta get it together. It's embarrassing to me because if she gonna, she got locked up for that, and over here we not getting locked up for nothing. Like nothing that in that regard. We just able to do whatever, say whatever, and then it's okay. And then now, we blaming each other. Well, you made me do this and all this stuff. No, we all need to hold ourselves accountable. So I just think it's an embarrassing situation. So
yeah, that's what I feel, because I feel like all the Karens and Keisha need to be locked the fuck up. That's just how I feel. I just feel like it's not right. I just feel like it's a way that the Karens do it that Keisha don't. Keisha is like, don't look at me type, but Karen will follow you around the store and accuse your son of stealing. And I feel like that's not right. It's been plenty of times I got followed around a makeup store and a woman. One time a lady accused my son of stealing at a Target. And my son was just holding the toy. He was just, just holding the toy around the store. She was like, is he going to steal that? So it's like, Karen don't go to jail for that. But if I would have said, hey, if I would have acted like Keisha, because you accusing my son of stealing, then I'm the one that gonna go to jail. So I
got a question.
Now,
Did you have on fuzzy house shoes when they accused?
No, I don't wear bonnets outside, my love.
Okay,
I
just-
don't wear bonnets. I don't wear pajamas. I don't wear none of those type of things on the outside.
But do
Just a
y'all
question.
see how they use black men as the personification of embodiment of a strong man and wanting to be like black men, and they do the same thing with black women. All the things, all the surgeries, all the tanning, all the big lips, big breasts, big booty. Like the women are trying to be like black women, but then when they push the showcase us in negative images in music and entertainment and all these things, they don't put out positive black images. So we're grown. If you got little kids growing up in households and you got environments being conditioned a certain way, you see the school system is not pushing positive black images. They know how powerful black men and women are and showcasing them in a certain way where everybody we can be catalysts to pushing these images, to ruining societies on both sides, and everybody keeps going as black people. I feel like something deeper is going to come later in the future, but I don't know if y'all noticed that, like all the negative images that's being pushed is using black men and women to do it, as well as pushing the positive images of black men and black women, but it's only the embodiment of them. A white woman looks beautiful because she looks black. A black man is promoted because he has certain characteristics of a black man, but they'll never actually promote beautiful and strong black men and women.
And that's what I hate.
Now we're talking about the
those
laws.
women. Hold on, I'm sorry. Just one more thing. That's why I hate the fact that those Karens or those women, they don't talk to their white husband that way, but they'll talk to a black man any type of way in the streets because they feel comfortable doing it. And I just feel like it's not right.
Now we're talking about the laws and stuff, like we could get these laws over here. That's great in theory, but I can't really see anybody ever coming close to passing that. It would take 30, 40, 50 years for them to get to something like that. But what we could do is police ourselves more. How many times do we police ourselves just as a community? How many times do we support the nonsense that you see and everybody being ratchet? We support it, right? And the algorithm doesn't help. But let's just say the algorithm is pushing us to our phones and we just flip right past it. They'd have to stop. If we didn't sit here and watch every single fight compilation, or every time somebody twerking, or every time somebody yelling and cursing somebody out, and we just ignored it and only paid more attention to things that are positive, or check the people that are around us, we could probably make a decent dent in it. But we don't really stop supporting it. Social media is a major thing because those are the images that are portrayed, and they're just going to be out there, and people are going to pick it up, and our children are going to witness it, and they're going to continue to exhibit that type of behavior. But if we ignore it, we shut it out. We shut it out from our children. We shut it out from our communities. We just ignore it completely. Don't ever give them the time of day. Don't drop a comment on there, good, bad, or ugly. If somebody do something ratchet, don't even engage in it. Just leave it alone. Don't say nothing about it. Good, because you know how it go. A thumbs up and a thumbs down is engagement. A good comment and a bad comment is engagement. When we decide that we're just going to ignore it, then they have to move on to something else.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Woman shaking our ass on Instagram, I totally ignore it. I don't.
Boy, you be
I don't like it.
Man, you nightmare. Come on, man.
Mommy 3. What you say? What you say them Karens did to you? Mommy 3. What you say them Karens? What you say them Karens did to you?
Man, that lady followed me all around the store, like, baby, I'm not like at that Target, my son just had a toy in his hand. It was a Fortnite toy. I was debating on if I was gonna buy it, and she followed us around. I'm like, I know this woman is not following me. I wanted to get Keisha so bad, but I had to keep
debating on whether she was gonna buy it though. Why you
Sweetie trying to say you lying?
Because I didn't have a sugar daddy like you to buy it. So
Sweeney trying to say you lying. Why you always lying?
Because I didn't know buying it because I'm like,
I know who that was.
He has too many action like figures of those collectibles Fortnite toys. But so when we made it to the cash register, like she had said, it's because I didn't scan it. I didn't let the woman.
Wait. He don't made it to the cash register. You still want to buy it? Come on, y'all.
You gotta keep them.
Come on,
doing
y'all.
You gotta keep them doing something while you walking around the store. Hold the
time. Wait a minute. He done made it all the way to the cash register. The lady still.
Always to the cash. You at the front door, like, should I buy this or not? Come on, Mommy 3.
She know that boy. Talking about some he had the toy. He walked through the damn sensor when she.
You know what you was doing, Mommy 3.
I'm
You trying to throw it through the sensor.
buy it or not. They
Cash
had the
App.
car with
Let me
the
drop my
toy.
cash app in the chat. Let me drop my cash. Let me see how long that money is, let go.
That boy went through the whole.
All right, Mommy 3 loves. You know I date single moms. You might want to calm down now. All right.
Wow, run you crazy.
You might want to sit down somewhere.
Oh, I'm sitting down now.
Talking about
Let go. You all right over there?
No, I ain't. I'm over there looking at Mommy 3 love.
Gotcha.
I'm still young. I'm still young.
I can't believe that Karen followed me around the store while I grabbed this toy and took it through the center. The alarm went off, and they still thought I was trying to steal it.
The lady was checking
Did
us
she follow
out.
you in the parking lot when you was debating on whether you want to buy it or not?
The lady was checking us out, and then she gonna come with her basket like she read chat. She said, "Is your son gonna buy that?" I said, no, he just holding it. Oh, I'm just trying to see if you're gonna buy it or not.
Because you walked through the sensor with it.
You walked through the sensor with it, Mommy 3.
He at the self-checkout line. He still got it in his hand.
Yeah, we saw. You know what you was doing. Just act like you ain't know you had it.
Just walk out real quick. Just
act like you ain't know you had it.
They had 1,000,001 of those. Why is she worried about his toy?
The toy was in his pants.
It was not in his pants. He was just holding, just reading in the box and stuff.
He was trying to steal the toy in his pants.
Let me get to these little couple super chats. King Spark, 57.99, 4.99. Also, remember said ratchetness should be illegal in all 50 states. I ain't going nowhere. $5. Watch your mouth. Strong Black Independent Queen. Magic don't work everywhere. Ladies, practice decorum. Don't let Mr. Let Go coach you, and you'll be fine. I ain't going nowhere. $5. Also, a member says Trash Smooth. If you file court documents claiming to be Usher or LeBron's son, you can get a quick bag, my boy. My cousin Bobby is a lawyer. I'm just saying. Check out LLC 499 says, I'm super, super happy she got locked up. When you travel, shut up and enjoy your vacation. Enjoy the money you spend and don't act a fool. I want to thank everybody that contributed to the platform. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Go ahead and share the stream, man. We still got a couple things to talk about. Shout out to the sponsor, T-Channeling. Uncomplicated skincare for men. 30% off alone, a free gift. That link is in the description. Let's go ahead and get to the meat of the conversation. And we know the ladies like the meat.
Ow.
With that being said, let's go ahead and put this together. Do men and women need a balance of both masculine and feminine? I did see Mr. Let Go and Ali in that chat on this video. So I seen y'all.
Yeah, I already know what this is.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and play this clip.
What a feminine man is. I don't
know exactly what it is. And you honestly feel threatened by them because that's the one thing that you probably lack as a human is this empathy vehicle that you're so afraid to lay claim to when really it's necessary for your manhood. I believe that the most
1000%.
well-rounded individuals, male and female, must have the ability to be what y'all call this masculine. When it's as a woman, it's like when it's two becomes one, there's got to be some bleed over. There's this purge. There's this sauce that you make of a man's masculinity and a woman's femininity. Those things don't, just like y'all mesh, so does that energy. I would not expect my woman to not pick up some sort of masculine traits, but these are mine. I get to watch her use my slang, carry that shit like I carry it. That's the most beautiful thing. As long as we call it a war, we will forever be intimidated when we see it in ourselves. But that's really just women touch you in a way that make you softer, bro.
Yeah.
And you must acquire that to survive.
All right. Do men and women need a balance of both masculine and feminine? Let me see. Let me check face expressions and see who need to go first on this. Sweeney, go ahead, brother. You're holding your head, man. What's going on, man? The chat wants to know. I want to know what you're thinking. You're on mute just so you know, brother. Talking to Ghost.
Said they don't give a damn what I got to say about this. Shit. Do we need a balance of masculine and feminine energy? I don't think it needs to. I don't think it needs to be like a 50-50 balance. But they do say that when women are pregnant, when they have children, men do become a little softer. We do. I think they said men produce a little a little more estrogen and shit like that. But as far as like, I don't know. I got nothing on this one, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to you, Sweeney. Let me let the I don't know if you was paying attention or I don't know if you got that good. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna come back to you, Mr. Let Go. Go ahead and set the tone, brother.
All right. So one, masculine energy isn't the opposite of feminine energy. It's just different energy. And a lot of what Mike said was true. There's nothing wrong with having, a certain amount of empathy, but you could be masculine and have empathy. And that's the thing that a lot of my panderous brethrens love to like spew out there. Is always about let's be more, because they love to talk about partners. I be about to throw up in my mouth just on stage when they talk about this partnership bullshit. I don't believe in all that shit, So what they tend to want to do is blur the lines between masculinity and femininity. So now it's like whatever men do is toxic. It's toxic masculinity, right? I don't have empathy because I hold women accountable. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. And it's a modern man thing. And I'm not a modern man. I'm a traditional man. I have traditional values, and that's what I stand on.
What?
So whenever, because to me, it's not just about masculine versus feminine. It's traditional versus these other dudes. So modern. So modern men, to a certain degree, act just like modern women. So that's why they call them partnerships, because modern men are somewhat synonymous with modern women. And, the modern women be masculine and the modern men be pseudo feminine. I'm not none of that shit. I'm a traditional man. So I think a lot of modern men see me as a traditional man or a traditional man as toxic or you don't have empathy. No, I'm just a grown ass man who stands on his shit. And to a certain degree, that is either threatening to a lot of guys or simply frowned upon. And it's really sad, but it is what it is. What? Why me 3?
What the hell are you talking about?
He said they threatened by him. by that little old thing. I just hate for people to think of like masculine, like you DMX. That's what masculine mean. That is not what masculine mean. Like you can be. Oh Lord, I'm let somebody go because I'm like sweet and I gotta still get a little groove with it. So I'm let somebody go.
All right, go ahead, Lady Dad and Precious.
I was gonna say his example wasn't a good example to the point of that conversation. I think that yes, when you are in a relationship with somebody, you're gonna start to act like them, yeah. But when you start to act like feminine and you're a man, and then you're masculine and you're a female, I don't think that part is realistic. I don't think that it should be accepted. I think that you need to stay who you are, which is a lady. And you do that well, and then you stay who you are as a man. Now, when you have children, yeah, you're gonna become more emotional, but it doesn't mean that you're you're feminine. You're just more to your child. You're just being a dad. It doesn't make you being a mom now because you shed a tear. That's just you growing up into this, certain type of fatherhood or motherhood. So I think that it should just be separated. Respect each other's energy. So if you are a female, the man respect that, as long as it's respectful. And the same thing for the man. It shouldn't be where it's some type of balance of like we're gonna share each other's energy, because now you're not being yourself. That's like a cat and a dog. Now the dog has a best friend of a cat. And now they're going to act like each other. It don't mix well. Just like water and oil, that shit don't mix. So just keep it how it is, because we're different for a reason. It shouldn't be shared in the way that example that he brought. No, it should not be like that.
And that's the biggest problem that I deal with is all this mixing. Why can't we just be partners? Why can't we just no? It's a difference between two people, and it's always going to be like that.
Precious. 1 minute and 25 seconds, Mr. Lego.
Do I think that there needs to be a balance? I'm not quite sure of a balance. To me means 50-50. I think that both energies, I believe that we're born with masculine and feminine energy. I think that it needs to be channeled correctly. I don't think a lot of, there's a lot of women who have masculine energy and they're not channeling it correctly. They're going out to Dubai and screaming. They're doing more than they necessarily have to do in the name of I don't need a man and things like that. So I think it has to be channeled correctly. And I think we need to be more aware of each other's energy. Because if you're not aware of the energy of someone like Mr. Let Go, then you're going to think that he's someone that don't care about you. He don't, but that's just how he is. There's a woman out there that will be okay with how he is. But you have to be able to know both people. And if your energies don't mesh, then they don't mesh. So you have to be aware of each other's energies, but you also have to, as a masculine, you also have to channel that energy correctly. Just because you have that masculine energy, it's like, oh, well, I'm a man and I could just do whatever and I'm just going to be this way. And no, you also have to channel, some of that feminine energy that you do have at times. It's not something that's going to overshadow the relationship. It shouldn't overshadow you as a man, but you should be man enough to say, I do have compassion. I can show empathy. I can place myself in your shoes and still be masculine and still be a man in all your glory as a man. It doesn't make you more feminine, doesn't make you more girly. It makes you more aware of who you're with and your relationship in the direction that it's going.
I'm actually more and more compassionate as the months go by, just as time goes by. So yeah,
that's good. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
I don't appreciate anything masculine on a woman at all, period. I don't think that men should have any feminine energy at all. What we have to understand is that men and women both nurture. We just do it in a masculine way. My nurturing is providing. That's masculine. Women nurture in their way. And even if I'm caring for a child, that's still masculine. That's not feminine energy. We can't mix the two up. Anybody who's in his true masculine is not going to have any feminine traits. So we can't misconstrue a lot of these ideas about someone caring for a woman or his child as being feminine. That's not feminine energy. That's still masculine. You're supposed to. That's how you are with your family. That doesn't make you feminine. Feminine energy is when you start to become emotional and can't control your emotions. That's another thing. There also, in my opinion, is a balance, right? And some women who are masculine will try to tone a man down so they can have that balance, because you do need a balance. And sometimes dysfunction is function. So if a woman is feminine, if she is masculine, then she can get with the guy who can listen to her and then just go and let her call the shots because he's feminine, which to me, that would always be dysfunction. But I've seen it work. If you have a weak man, then he can get with a stronger woman. And that's why women who are masculine will try to attach buzzwords like toxic to masculinity, because they want to soften a man and make him weak so they can deal with him without compromising their own masculinity.
Well, actually,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I have a question. I saw a video of a family. It was a mom and dad and a son. And the son had placed, I believe, third in a spelling bee over all these children. And he was crying because he lost. His father was crying because his son achieved, he was third place. He didn't win first place, but I think he was emotional because his son was emotional. Now the mom comes around, goes, y'all both crying. She's laughing at them. She's like, y'all both crying? Why y'all crying? And then she tells the boy, she's more masculine than the man at this point. But she's like, you achieved such a great, achievement, and you should be proud of yourself. And she's like, why are you crying? Asking the dad, like, why are you crying? So in that moment, What would you call that?
Do you want to call that feminine? I mean, it's
No, I'm
part
asking
of our
you. I'm
nature.
not
It is what
calling
it
it anything.
No,
Call that what?
I'm
The
saying
dude's
that's
doing or
just
the mama's doing?
The man was
that
crying
doesn't take
out
away
of
that doesn't
joy.
take away from your masculinity. That doesn't take away
What'd you say?
from your masculinity. It's what you do with it. Like you just sitting there crying. It is what it is. You feel you. It doesn't mean that we don't feel emotions at all. It's what we do with our emotions, right? When we start doing things that are out of order, when we start doing things that are out of control, that's when you're exhibiting feminine behavior. When you start to do things that are going to give you consequences, when you have to suffer consequences because of it, but for yourself or others, that's when you start becoming feminine, right? You can still remain stoic. You're good. Crying, it is what it is. Now, if you cry like, oh no, I lost my job, and what am I going to do? That's different.
Right.
As a man, you know what you got to do. You got to get back on a horse and get busy. But feeling emotions for your child is in no way feminine, in my opinion.
Yeah, when I met my dad for the first time, I cried like what? On and off like what, 3 different times. When my cousin first called me, I cried. When I went out to Philly, I cried when I was at the hotel. And then when I got home, it was the time I cried. So yeah, like crying isn't feminine. Crying is like taking a shit. Like it's letting something go, you know?
A lot of people don't do it though.
Yeah, some men actually try to hold it in, but you know that's a toxic issue. But because if you hold anything in, that actually causes toxicity, right? So crying itself isn't feminine. But when a man cries because he can't do something about something, now that's a problem. That's a feminine issue because he's frustrated because he can't do something. If you lose a game, you can cry. But if you cry in the middle of the game because you're losing, now that's a different story because you still got an opportunity to win. So why the hell are you crying?
Actually, just to kind of jump in here, when you talk about masculinity and femininity, do men and women need a balance of both? No. The actual regular standard male, that nothing's wrong with him, has over 70% of masculinity in him. And the actual standard female has over 70% of femininity in her. But I think a lot of times when we talk about masculinity and femininity, we're associating it with gender behavior. And that's the issue because masculinity by definition is defined as doing. So if you're saying that you don't want masculinity in a woman, technically I would dispute that because a lot of men want that woman to be active. You want her to work out. That's masculinity. But when you're talking about emotions, that actually is femininity. If femininity is described as nurturing, comparing, compassion, things like that, that's literally in the definition. I'm not making this up. So when you're saying crying is an emotion, crying is femininity. When you're saying anger is an emotion, anger is femininity. So emotion, empathy is described under the umbrella of femininity. But again, it is how you channel it because a person who is utilizing that emotion and then they start acting on it. For instance, anger. Once you start becoming physical, now you transition that into masculinity. And so I think when we have this conversation, we try to identify it with a gender because femininity is associated with female and then masculinity is associated with male. And we have perpetuated ideas of what a masculine man look like. And 50 Cent and Tay Diggs are both heterosexual black men, but you get 2 different ideas of masculinity with them. 2 completely different ideas. So
Yeah, Tay Diggs especially is fruity as hell. Yeah, I agree.
He's a heterosexual black man. So regardless of
fruity.
the fact that you may not like how he handles himself or carries himself well, or if you look at the character that played Kyle on Living Single versus the character that played Overton, those are 2 heterosexual black men, but people would assume that Kyle had a lot more femininity in him than Overton did, but neither one of those men necessarily lacked masculinity. So I think in this conversation that we take these ideas and we apply them and try to denote them down to gender roles, when in actuality, I don't need a balance of masculinity in order to act in my femininity or my womanhood. At times, I do need to exude masculinity due to whatever situational scenario. However, I always want to encompass femininity because that is who I am at my nature, at my core.
Hey, what is living single? I'm a millennial, so I don't know. What is that?
That was a show we had
That
Queen
was back in your
Latifah.
time. What you talking about?
He bullshitting, man.
Yeah, I know he's joking.
I'm a millennial. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm too young to
You old, stop.
Hey, go ahead, Lady Di. You wanna go to Chanel?
I was gonna ask Paris 2
29.
questions. So you said working out is masculine. Can you explain that? And then the second question is, you said about I lost. Hold on, I forgot. But can you explain the workout part? You said that's masculine.
The act of masculinity is doing. So lifting, physical fitness, those things are characterized as masculinity because anytime you're actually acting, anytime you're in some type of physicality that could be seen as dominance or aggression, that would be considered masculinity.
So then that means women shouldn't play sports then?
No,
right?
I didn't say that. I said I would counteract men saying that they don't want a woman to behave masculine, but a lot of men like their women to be physically fit in shape. It actually shows that if a woman is physically fit in shape, her child has greater chances of being active, and it actually helps increase children being more athletic and more healthy if a woman is active as opposed to the father. So I'm just saying that when we're saying women shouldn't act masculine or men shouldn't act feminine, empathy is a feeling of femininity. I do want a man to be feminine. I do want a man to be nurturing. That is a feeling of femininity that is under the umbrella. We can't make men nurturers and then call it masculinity because by definition it don't apply. You're acting in feminine. I just don't want you to have more femininity than me, or I don't need it balanced. I need you to have the normal standard of what is automatically applied in a biological male. That's it.
I get that point, but I'm trying to get.
I don't think she's saying
that
don't work out though. I don't think she's saying that.
Nurturing is so nurturing for a man is still in his masculinity. It's just he's doing it in his masculinity. It's not that he's feminine.
By definition, that's not true.
But see, that's what I'm saying. This definition, I feel like that's why so many men now need therapy because I'm thinking about our boys now, how they suppress these things because they don't feel like, oh, if I express this to my dad, he might think so I just feel like a lot with this definition, a lot of men now today, it didn't work. Them suppressing these things didn't work. That's why we talking about half of these things now, because I don't feel like that's feminine. I still feel like that's masculine. I still feel like a man expressing himself is masculine.
Communication has no energy, right? So communication is not necessarily masculine or feminine. When you're talking about feminine energy, and I'm saying nurturing is under the umbrella of feminine energy. The natural man, the regular standard biological male, has 30% or less feminine energy. You can look it up.
So you saying like a single dad, like a widow, like a widow dad. He had to get some type of energy to.
Hold on, y'all. We got to get Chanel in there. Before we start going back around for the second time. Let's get Chanel in there.
I don't mind hearing the rest of their conversation.
I got you, Ali.
I don't mind hearing the rest of their conversation, but I'm just gonna add passiveness is normally linked with feminine energy, and being direct is normally linked with masculine energy. I think both passivity and being direct can be applied in different situations, and I think we're all reasonable enough to know which situations we can use both things in. We don't have to overcomplicate these things. We can use what's been happening many years ago to see what femininity is and to see what masculinity is. I do agree with Paris. There's 30% estrogen in men and there's 30% testosterone in women. So it's already balanced within our own bodies just as much as we need. So that's just my opinion.
So technically, is eating ass masculine or feminine?
Masculine. You're doing something.
We're Could you just take these things seriously? These are great conversations we can have. Please.
I just wanted to ask
serious.
a question.
Go ahead,
I
Ali.
don't know.
Go ahead, Ali.
The little princess is
So this is how the Western world has created identity issues amongst men and women, and this is why the LGBT community is going to continue to grow and thrive, and why everybody's going to struggle with being a man and woman. I believe these terms were created to emasculate men more so than the women, and it made women want to be more masculine. That's why a woman's fighting to be a man, and a man's fighting to kind of be a woman. I ain't gonna say they're fighting as much to be a woman, but they're not valuing a woman as much, and they're fine without being a woman at times. But when we're looking at the way that the country has went and the way things have been implemented in globally, they are trying to get rid of men. They're trying to completely get rid of masculinity. Once you get rid of masculinity, then you can get rid of femininity and forget those energies. Let me stop doing that because I hate playing with these words. This is what's happened to us anyway. You destroy a man, you can destroy the woman. And once you destroy the man and woman, you destroy the children and you destroy the family. The main goal they're trying to do is make us fight with these words when we know to the skin, to the hair, to the bone, to your pelvic area, you're a woman. There's nothing about you that's masculine. There's nothing about me that's feminine. We have traits that are similar that can say that we share. When I show empathy, that doesn't make me feminine. When you show strength and endurance and resilience, that doesn't make you masculine. We just have certain traits that can look similar. Just say these are traits that we share. But there's nothing I can do to be a woman. There's nothing you can do to be a man. It's straight manhood and there's woman. And I believe they throw this out to people so we're confused and we sit here fighting over who's feminine, who's masculine. But I'm gonna tell you this, men are meant to lead and women are meant to follow. And we know this, if we came up to JR, we started telling them how to run a show, this whole show was shut down. Men are supposed to be in leadership positions. Women are supposed to be helping that man and sustain the household. And we know this because if a man shows emotion, let's say I use Precious, for example. A lot of women go, stop acting like a bitch and you stop being so sensitive. If I try to communicate with Precious, she'll at least stop raising your voice. If I use intelligence and leadership, a lot of today's women go, hey, you trying to be controlling. So once you start negotiating with a woman a little bit and make her think that y'all 50-50 and y'all equal and partners, you already lost the family because that person is going to tell you that they need a leader. But as soon as you start negotiating with her, she feel like you're not sufficient enough and you can't lead her. So men lead. We need to go back to gender roles, starting from the school, from the infrastructure of schools, teaching what a man is, what a woman is, and everybody gets in line like Paris was talking about a while ago. We need to create men and women. We need to know what our roles are. And then we need to have families that thrive.
Ali,
I hate that we're not
masculine and feminine. Saying that masculine and feminine energy, don't exist, don't take away from testosterone or estrogen. Like when you have estrogen, you can have estrogen as something considered red dot, which we know that's something in McDonald's fries, there's something in chips, that's something that's in a lot of things, which subsequently, if you keep eating those things, it will increase estrogen in anybody. A man taking steroids is going to increase testosterone in anybody, which is going to increase masculine energy. If I take a steroid and I start to grow hair in places that men technically are growing hair in, that's going to increase masculine energy, which is going to warp my brain to start behaving in a male faceted manner. So that's why I go back to saying, like, hey, there don't need to be no balance. I don't need 50-50 masculinity and femininity. I don't need 50-50 of testosterone and estrogen. I need to have just enough of masculinity in order to be able to exude certain things, because of course that is just natural for survival. That's all it is. It's just natural for survival. So when we're talking emotion is feminine, whether it's a good emotion or bad emotion. Now, when you start to irrationally behave under emotion, dependent on how extreme it gets, and if it goes to physicality, if a person gets depressed, that is a feminine reaction to emotion because they shut down, they stop doing. But if a person gets physical and they get outrageous and they start being belligerent, that is masculine because that is how men behave. That's all it is.
I just, like I said, it's a chemical. I disagree because then how do you explain a stud and a gay man? What? How can someone be completely a stud? How can a woman end up act like become a man? If everybody has the balance of what you're saying of masculine
No,
and
I didn't say everybody has a balance. I said we don't need a balance. I don't need you to have 50% of femininity. That's warped to me. So what I'm saying is that studs and gay men, the ones that exist that have those things, they have an imbalance. That's the point. They don't need it.
I would disagree with you, but we can agree
I
to
don't know. I
disagree.
think they
All right,
just
yeah, let me go get Precious in there, y'all. Go ahead, Precious.
I just wanted to say, as far as the because I spoke on it earlier, but as far as masculine and feminine, I really wish that we studied more on these instead of going to social media or getting the, well, you feminine because of this, or you
Right.
feminine because of that. I wish we knew more of the educational background on this instead of what we hear in the
Right.
streets, because like Ali was saying, it's the stigma between the two where we can't move forward really. And if we knew that, if we focus more on what it is educationally, rather what it is societal wise or cultural wise, there may be a better chance for for the two to actually understand each other and not kind
Of course.
repel each other because it's like, oh well, you being feminine. It's like, oh no, well he's showing emotion, so let me analyze this for what it is, or let me, we don't take a step back anymore and just see things for what they are. We're so quick to label it, we're so
Right.
quick to bash someone, we're so quick to put them down. And knowing that we all have masculine and feminine energy, how is it being channeled? That's a question that you have to ask yourself and the person that you're with. How are you channeling that energy?
Right.
Because that will then determine your next steps or how you should handle the situation and not put someone down because they're channeling more energy than you probably would want them to.
But
Education, you guys rejected it.
Well, not me. I'm all for education.
Well, I looked up this testosterone
But you were given the right
and estrogen levels because I know sometimes we are learning stuff, but we don't read fully
it's a chemical
of kind of what's going on. So on here it says healthline.com, it says testosterone is the most significant hormone to male sexual development and function, but estrogen needs to stay in balance with the testosterone to help control sex drive, the ability to have erection, and the production of sperm. So that's what estrogen does for a man.
Right. And when there's
it has nothing to do with femininity and
exactly.
his factor.
Right. And when we link it to saying it's an imbalance, that's why someone's a stud or homosexual. That's wrong too, because truly, when people who are trying to transition start taking hormones, if a man is taking too much estrogen, it destroys his body. If a woman is taking too much testosterone, it alters her body and destroys her body as well too. It hurts our bodies when we're taking hormones, especially when a person goes to transition as well too. But the hormones that people are taking to transition is hurting them.
Well, that's why I feel like,
but that's correct, because by definition, feminine energy is associated with a born female, and born females have estrogen in them. And if you look at what estrogen does, it modifies your moods, et cetera, and masculine energy is born with the associated male. It is identified with a boy male or a regular gender male, however you guys want to termalize it. So when you're talking about all of these things and you're increasing testosterone, everybody know what testosterone does for men. All of this correlates. So I'm sorry if you don't want to accept
it.
It
don't.
It's not.
You can't prove energy. You can't prove masculine and feminine energy. That's where you're wrong. That does not link. Energy doesn't correlate with estrogen and testosterone. That's not true. And that's just energy. You're talking about energy. You can't define a man's energy or a woman's energy.
That's why I brought up kids, because like my son played football and my son was suppressing these emotions that he had on the field. So he ended up coming to me and I was like, you talk to your dad every day. Why you couldn't talk to your dad about these things? Because I don't know what goes on in football. So he was like, well, he gonna think that I'm a girl or I'm So it's like you gotta think about where little boys that they feel like having emotions is being a girl, it's being girly. That's not a way to go, because most men grow up to feel like they gotta suppress certain
In a way it is, mommy three. If
yeah, in
Trev
a
and
way
me,
it is.
hold on. If me and
Hold on,
Trev
let
and
me
Sweeney,
finish.
go ahead.
Hold on, let me finish. So when I said talk to your dad about these, so when he talked to his dad, meaning a young boy talking to their dad, now he had a better understanding, because me as a woman, I'm gonna respond in a feminine energy. So now he got the guidance on a man perspective on what you should do when you have these type of situations. And my son dad said, that's not being a girl. If that's how you feel that way. But this is what you need to do when you feel that way on the field. Don't let your emotions get in the way of you getting that touchdown. That's what I'm saying. Like, but you got so many kids feeling like they can't come to their own dad. Like, just imagine your son in a room and he feeling some type of way. You don't even know it.
Go ahead, Sweeney. Let's get Sweeney in there.
I think what we're kind of like where the disconnect between everybody in Paris is that she's using the word energy when I think what she's trying to say is behavior. There are certain behaviors that are associated with masculinity, and then there are certain behaviors that are associated with femininity. So, and I think, and kind of like what Ali is basically saying is that just because I may have a behavior that is associated with femininity doesn't make me any less masculine. Am I
Right. If I start acting prissy, we say that's the words we're using, but I cannot act like a woman. I can emulate her and try to mimic her, but I cannot. There's nothing I can do that can showcase or demonstrate me actually being a woman. I'm not technically being feminine. I'm copying her, but we use those words. Like we use those words, like Precious said. We don't really study those words. We don't really think about those words. We don't really define those words. I'm copying her, but I can't. There's nothing I can do to be her. And that's the problem that's happening in society, and why we got all these identity crises, and why a man thinks he can be a woman and a woman thinks he can be a man, because we start playing around with this feminine and masculine energy. That you can't define that. You can calculate my force, the amount of force I could put out, or amount of force a woman can put out. But saying that that's masculine and feminine energy, you can't define that in what that is in a man or a woman.
Yeah, you can't fight science. Like, it is what it is. Emotions are different. It's just a mental space. But as far as what these levels that we keep talking about, it says what it says. It's not about any behavior or anything like that.
Well, that's the thing. You guys keep trying to associate it with identifying what you see as a regular standard male versus what you see as a regular standard female. And then it varies in multiple people based off of several different factors, based off of food, based off of their environment, based off of their activity status. All of these things are a variety. A man can have modified feminine energy if he's only around other women. The same way women can magically sync together on everything in the event you have a room around women. So what I'm saying is we like Sweeney said, we keep trying to associate these behaviors with traditionalized men and women. But masculine and feminine energy doesn't necessarily need to have a balance in each other with a regular standard female and a regular standard male, because we already have what we need. What we're seeing now is more times often than not, women are overly acting in their masculine all the time when we only have a small percentage of it, and vice versa.
You just said it. You said it's because of the environment and the food. So I agree with that. It's not because it's natural. Things are being learned and it's being taught and seen. It's not because they are just being this way because they were born like that. It's more like, okay, well, I was raised by a single parent, or I was raised with no parents. I was raised in the hood. I was raised with not having fresh food. I had microwavable foods, frozen dinners all the time. So the way how I act and my estrogen and testosterone levels are going to be inflated. It's going to be different. But if you just take a regular person and have these levels and they're just in a normal space that is conductive and productive, then it might not be the same for everybody. I agree with that.
Well, I think the issue here is that we keep trying to associate these things in relationship bad behaviors. I don't want to associate it in relationship bad behaviors, which is why I utilize physical fitness and activity. A woman working out would be considered masculine because the act of being masculine is doing. The act of strength is testosterone, which we all have. which men have. They have it in excess. So when you're talking about working out a physical fit and a man says, oh, I don't want a woman to be masculine, in order to work out, by definition, she would have to act in a masculine manner.
So what is it when she's cleaning up the house? What is she when she's vacuuming? What is it
That
when
is
she's
still
holding?
a masculine manner. It doesn't change physical fitness, it's doing.
Because femininity is just being.
Man.
Femininity is
Yeah,
just being.
I think we're making a mistake by connecting the testosterone and the estrogen, because there are some people who you could visibly see that will have very low T levels, right? And they will act like one of the most macho dudes you ever met, and vice versa. You'll see some of the most buff dudes, high T levels, acting like a whole woman. So we can't necessarily connect those two. It's really a state of mind.
Can we go back to the actual video in question?
Well, you could tell by somebody's fitness. If somebody BMI
I mean, it's a
is
lot
like
of buff gay
40, they're
It's a
probably
game.
don't have high testosterone.
It's a game that's being played. But soon as you put that woman that masculine woman who thinks she's a man around a man, it ain't no more masculine energy going on. Like this is why we have to stop doing it. No. I'm talking about really masculine. I'm talking about men being men. I ain't talking about she just get away with saying she masculine. We see it with competition, Sweeney. If you see a man competing with women in any type of sport, he dominate, breaking all kind of records. If he fighting with her in UFC, he break a jaw. Women saying, "Man, I ain't never been hit that hard in my life." No, when you put once you compete and you put men and women in the same box, if that woman says she a man, you put her up against a man. No, it ain't no man no more. How you saying BS to that?
Oh no! I thought you was coming from a different perspective.
Her behaviors, her behavior, but we know, Sweeney, what woman come up to you? Trav already said it, family. Don't no man go, hey Precious, I need some of that masculine energy. If a woman is typically a woman who's showing masculine energy, she's very insecure woman. It's a front. She ain't even really that strong if she has to show all that energy. The feminine woman is a very secure woman, a cooperative woman, knows how to use and manipulate her energy to get positive outcomes or whatever outcome she wants. The woman who's trying to act as a man, she's an extremely insecure woman. She has she doesn't know nothing about femininity. That's the problem. So she pretends that she's a man. But when she's sitting in front of you, Sweeney, you just gonna look at this girl, think she a man. You don't see no masculinity.
I was actually gonna answer that. The very like if you think about it, when most women say that they're being masculine, it normally does come from an insecure place. I don't have the ability to rest in my femininity because I have to do this. So they may feel financially insecure. They may feel insecure with their relationships and things like that. So yeah.
Same with a man who has to go in his so-called feminine energy. He's afraid and intimidated by men. It's insecure. You want to say energy? It's an insecure energy.
I do want to slide this last topic in, which is kind of in relation to what we're talking about. But if you do see a young boy sitting feminine, you're gonna tell him straighten up
all the time. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Straighten up. Stop crying. I am going, Bobby. I'm gonna be like, stop crying. Get up.
No. I said sitting.
Oh, that too. But he gonna start crying if he already sitting a certain way.
Y'all do. I just want to say this last thing. I just want to say it because I understand what you're saying, Paris. But I had to look. I don't normally come on here and look up anything, but you got me looking stuff up because I'm trying to see what you're talking about. But it says in 1837, the word feminine and feminism was created by a man to empower women. It has nothing.
We already talked about it. To effeminate, make men effeminate.
This is something that's taught. So I don't want to put in the science and then was taught that was brought to the world all of a sudden, and we're just mixing them. This is not something that's natural. So I'm not saying that women can't act like men. Yes, it's learned. You watch a man and you can start acting like him. But if they didn't see I should say didn't know they weren't supposed to do that, like the lady that got locked up and she's shouting and screaming, acting masculine, then she wouldn't have done that. So I'm just saying that this feminism and masculine word and all that stuff is something that was brought to us, and now it's being taught to you
by the Western world, by white men.
It was from Charles.
It's white men.
I don't know how to say his name. French. Okay, this was something that was to empower
to
women.
make us soft. They wanted to make us soft, and we have become soft.
We're having the disconnect here because when you guys hear masculine and feminine, you are thinking of a man that looks like your idea of a masculine man and a woman that looks like your idea of a feminine woman, and that's not what I'm talking about, and it's okay.
But I wasn't. That's not when I see or hear that.
That's
That's
what
not.
it's coming off to me as.
I
Because
understand.
if you're agreeing with Ali, based off of what Ali talked about, he talked about sexuality. He talked about a woman dressing like a dyke or a stud, which is emulating a man's behavior. That's not what I'm saying. So we're not going to come to an agreement here.
Is what you're doing right now? Is what you're doing right now feminine or masculine? Like right now, what you're doing?
Nothing.
What would you call it?
Neither.
Who?
A conversation that's not neither. My voice isn't protruding. I'm not upset. I said we disagree.
If in your definition, actually, it would have been considered masculine back then because you couldn't even sit right here. The man letting you exercise your ability to speak right now that's a masculine trait. And this a nuanced thing where women can speak like this on a panel with men. We wouldn't let you you wouldn't sit at the table. There'd be no reason for you to sit at the table because now we're negotiating with you. It'd be man leading and women following in silence. That's what it'd be. You'd be sitting right in the house taking care of the home. This is masculine. It should be masculine based on what you're speaking on.
You're absolutely correct.
But wouldn't that be proving her point?
No, it wouldn't be proving her point. A man is men are allowing this. Like, and no disrespect to you, men are allowing this. Men are allowing this negotiation and this us going back and forth on who's the leader, who's not the leader. Are you masculine? Are you feminine? It's men. Men have allowed other men, not allowing us to allow. That's disingenuous. We've been conquered. And then the man who took over us wanted to make us softer, so we won't think about our future families. We won't think about nations, and now we controlled. And now everybody lives the way we're living now. We just living through our emotions and our feelings. We really don't exercise any action to take back over our culture, our identity, our nationality. We're living what another man says we're supposed to do, and he's using our women against us.
Go ahead, Chanel.
I was just going to quickly say, I think the mere fact that stoicism is purported as a masculine trait proves Paris's point as well.
How?
Because that's what she was. That's literally what that's all she's been saying is
no.
There are certain behaviors that are associated with masculinity, and there are certain behaviors that are associated with femininity.
How does that prove a point?
Because she was never arguing any of the things y'all were saying. She was simply stating that there were certain behaviors that are considered masculine, and there are certain behaviors that are associated with femininity.
No, Sweeney, you saving her. You did that. You are saving it because that's what you assumed she was doing. Everybody's sitting here watching. She's correlating hormones.
Am I lying?
Hold on. Let's be clear. Everybody else on the panel know it. She's correlating testosterone and estrogen with with masculinity and femininity. You took what she said and made it what you wanted to be, and then she goes yes, so she can get out of it. Come on, Sweeney.
I just go around the panel and ask them, Precious.
I agree with Paris. I agreed with her from the beginning. I think that it takes a certain level of education to know what you're talking about on this topic, and that's all I gotta say.
All right, what about you, Lady Da?
I was gonna say, yeah, it's only when you brought in the estrogen and all of that. That's when I was like, okay, well, I don't know how you're putting them together. But if you didn't say that, then I would have never even said nothing about it, really.
All right, I go.
I don't care. I'm just ready to get into the next topic. Y'all get on my damn nerves.
He's here so he doesn't get fined.
I just want to know.
Yeah, I'm just here so I won't get fined.
I just want to know, Paris, regardless of what you may have said before, because there may have been some lost in translation that's gone on because we used a lot of different words. What I said, is that what you meant?
What, Sweeney?
Yes.
Just say yes. That's it. Yeah. Yes.
I think the thing here is that, like I said, what we're discussing is it will always be nuanced because we keep trying to associate it with gender and sexuality, and it's not those things at all.
Okay. Well, we got another topic that's in relation to that, but with a little different spin to it.
Mr. Lego, when you shut up, that's been peaceful all night.
That's what I'm saying. Now he wants to talk about something. That's why I understand Mr. Lego talking about something.
And now
He don't even know how to shut the hell up.
Now I'm getting on your list.
She flexing her masculinity
I
on
don't
you.
agree with you, Paris.
Mr. Lego and his
Now,
feminine energy.
you know what? I don't agree with Paris. How about that?
All right, hold on. I'll get to the super chat right here. Chicago LLC 499 says most respected American abroad, Black American men, 100 emoji, white American 70, white American 50, Hispanic 50, Black women attitude problem. Chuck Auto LLC again says white American men 70. Guess it was correction.
What the hell is it?
Original everything else carbon copy $10. Also member says Ali is cute and intelligent and have great points, but I can't imagine being in a relationship with him because it seems like he will be arguing all the time.
She don't want no authority.
fact.
Remember what I told?
Yeah,
I cannot be
I
cute
can
and
imagine,
intelligent.
like, yo,
That's
hold
what
on,
I'm talking about. Let go.
Turn the toilet paper the
She's saying you
backwards way.
fuckable. She'll just
And
smash you.
Who y'all think more who would be more argumentative, me or Mr. Lego?
Both of y'all.
Man,
that-
Sweeney,
Both
don't do
of
that.
them.
Sweeney,
I
don't do
don't
that.
Both of them.
You go with the flow.
Both
I don't
of
go
them.
with
I'm
the
not
flow.
gonna.
You go with the flow. That's why
I don't
you
even
whatever you say, babe.
Ali, my woman, she's gonna sit her ass down and she's gonna enjoy sitting down. So it ain't no argument. She's gonna have a
Come on,
He
man.
gonna sit down because he gonna
She gonna be like, stop controlling me.
no. She's
You
not gonna be
controlling.
nasty.
You controlling. Let go.
I'm not controlling. A woman already knows what to do when she gets around me, because if she don't want to be around a dude like me, she's gonna be with somebody else.
So why you keep
gotta stop lying, bro?
Why you keep telling people to shut up and take over the host job from JR?
Because I'm not in a relationship with these women.
You be
So
trying
I'm
to
not
convince JR.
He got
But
that.
any of these women individually will sit their asses down.
We don't believe that.
We on a
we
panel.
don't believe
Let me
you,
go
bro.
ahead and get through this
We
event.
don't believe you.
$5 says Mike looked like he was in so much pain trying to explain his point. Yo, blink twice if you need help. Women don't find feminine men attractive. Original everything else carbon copy $10 says there are over 1 million black women, more than black men in just America alone. And y'all men can't find not one. It ain't just the women. Men don't think it's important to get married in our community. I ain't going over $10 says I say respectfully, Lady Di looking like a whole lady snack. Precious is the Diane Carroll of my Chanel eyes. Watch it.
Diane Carroll of Lapeef. Yo, not the spinning things. Okay.
Mommy stay moist.
Mommy 3 love stay moist. Oh shit, that's hilarious.
I have
Look
big
at Mommy
eyes.
3. Look at Mommy 3.
I have big eyes, so sometimes I just those eyes.
No, we got some beautiful women on the panel, so I can understand. That was hilarious.
The lady,
Shout out to the
lady
beautiful
snack.
women on the
Lady
panel.
snack.
Oh man.
Why they say mommy 3 loves more?
They know what it is. They know what it is.
Hey, Mr. Lego been soliciting her in the chat, in the back chat for the Tushin
He sure is. Bobby, baby, Bobby.
Tushin tires.
So y'all saying I don't made Mommy 3 loves over there more. She wet in the chair.
Nah, you just over here soliciting Tushin tires right now.
I do need some ties.
Rolling.
Bat signal. That's a bat signal.
Let me get back to this. TO199 says, shout out to Ali, Team Fatty, and them Untouchables. Chike Auto LLC 999 says, my wife asked me why didn't I go down on one knee and propose to her before getting married to her. I told her I am an African man. I don't do that. All I do is love and provide.
Damn. No empathy.
Like Auto LLC 199 says, only Ali made a point that is making sense. Like Auto LLC again said, this is the reason why we have black female in Dubai locked up now at Paris. I will say no to your point.
Damn.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't think Paris had anything to do with what she said. They got nothing to do with what that lady was doing.
Chris Johnson, $2. That box hit different though. It'd be 20 years.
Hey, hold up.
Yo.
What's twang?
Mr. Lego look like he had a
It's got like a little twang to it.
What is it like a
Ali, you had a
like,
stud before?
You had some stud box.
I ain't never had no man. No, I ain't
You
never
had
had
stud
no
box.
man.
Oh.
No,
my God.
Ali had a
twang
stud
is.
before. Ali had a stud, bro.
What I do?
Listen,
You about to talk about your stud experience, it seems like.
Who, me or Ali?
You
No,
just asking if
both
he
of
ain't
y'all.
never had no studs, like you've had some.
sweetie, you trying to come back from the other? You trying to do the herpes? You trying to come back from the herpes? That's what you doing.
I thought Ali
Just
was
because you knew what
saying
herpes
that he had
was.
a stud experience. He over there talking about stud.
Nah,
box.
get back on Sweetie know about what herpes cream was. Talking about everybody knows. Y'all seen the commercial? You want to play like that? Y'all seen the commercial, right? Hey, I'll be right back.
All right, Ali.
If y'all got herpes, Sweeney got y'all.
Oh man.
Don't get them lying.
Mix a little artichoke and some herpes cream, and you good.
It says some artichokes.
So Sweeney is a Dr. Sebi of herpes.
He's Dr. Sebi. You ain't hear about Dr. Sebi of herpes? He said mix some artichoke and some oregano with some aloe vera and some herpes cream.
I see you
and some paprika.
Sweeney, we got you.
No, bro.
He said it low too.
With
confidence.
I need you to get all the way up off my back right now.
I can help y'all with that.
Can we never say the word stud box again? Like y'all hilarious.
You're the one that said it.
Hey, don't run away from the stud box. Don't run away from the stud box, Mr. Lego. You know you hit a stud in Atlanta.
Oh no.
I know.
She changed your tires.
Yo.
Ain't your ass.
Hey.
It's a flag on the play right there, boy. Flag on the play.
What's going on here, man?
I don't know if for a little.
Mr. Lego, his feminine energy.
Hold on.
A woman actually asked me that on stage at the that shit was hilarious.
Come on, y'all. Let's go really back in, man. I don't know what type of talk we're doing right now, man. But
it was after it's 1 o'clock, JR. We saw it.
Man, it's crossing over, man. This is crossing over. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is kind of carrying over from the conversation we had before. I'm going to get you guys' thoughts on it, but it is will the streets make you feminine? I had a couple of people send me this video. Have y'all seen it?
Streets make you feminine?
Yeah, let me go ahead and play the context.
Dude ain't no different than a female. They propagate gangsterism. Women think that's masculinity. It's a call for help. Street dudes grew up without a father.
All the time, we gonna teach him not to be in the streets.
But listen, when you staring at a street dude, what did he do? You looking at? What you looking at, nigga? That's the same thing that women do. When you staring at a woman, it's like, boy, what you looking at? They got the same energy as a woman. It just has a different frequency to it. You got the same energy. When you're over emotional, that creates toxicity. Your emotions is not in balance with logic. Like they dealing with a lot of internal problems. Propagate gangsterism, and women think that's masculinity. Smoking all day, popping pills, you know what I'm saying, flashing the money. They trying to compensate for the lack thereof. Something happened to that man when he was a little boy. A lot of them deal with a lot of mental issues, while a lot of them are really like low-key homosexuals too. A lot of
I heard about that. I did hear about that.
A lot of street people are really that, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of women today, you know, they really think that like, oh, he a street dude, you know what I'm saying? He is listening to NBA YoungBoy. That's Bay right there. That's Bay. Got, you know, they think that's like masculine energy. A masculine man is always a very logical man, not an emotional man. Emotional people act on impulse.
I agree with everything he said.
I ain't gonna lie.
These little modern dudes, these little skinny ass thug looking dudes, gay as hell, feminine as hell, fruity as hell.
I'm sorry, Paris. I'm sorry, Paris. I see you, Paris.
What happened?
Paris, basically, y'all proving Paris right. Y'all proving Paris right.
Hey, Paris, they gonna flip flop. I ain't gonna flip flop.
Basically, y'all proving Paris right.
She getting y'all on the flip. Not some of y'all on the flip flop.
Wait, Paris, you got a street dude as a boyfriend?
You already flip flop. Let go. She already got you.
Huh? What I do? I ain't do nothing.
You just nothing. I know.
I ain't do nothing. What you talking about?
You disagreed with her. Now you agree with her.
What are you talking about? I always say these little modern men are halfway gay.
Hold on, Trev. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna go to Trev and Chanel. Trev, go ahead and explain like what just happened. What Chanel.
I don't think that the actual streets make you feminine. I think the lack of a proper father figure will make you feminine and behave feminine in the streets. Men, all of this, the streets is what will be your playground. because you're feminine. You can turn to the streets because of your feminine ways and do all those things that they did describe as feminine. But I don't think it's the streets that actually make you feminine. It's really just you not having the proper role models in your life in the first place.
I
Hold
don't
on,
think that.
hold on. I was going to
My
Chanel.
bad.
Go ahead, Chanel.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Not having a father figure, you can become imbalanced and you start to emulate the bad characteristics of whomever is around you. It could be your own mother, it could be the people in the street. But without having that masculine energy around you, you can't emulate what a man will do in certain situations. Like perhaps if you're in an argument or something like that, you may take on a more feminine role and argue back, or, you know, start a fight or something like that. Whereas in a normal man, you will be stoic. You will analyze the situation using logic and knowing that that's not worth your time getting in trouble. So, yeah.
All right, go ahead, Precious.
It's just like I was saying earlier in how you channel it. You know, the men who channel their energy in the streets and being overly emotional and pulling up on people, pulling the trigger, you know, that to me, that is feminine. Nobody want to fight with their hands no more. You know, that's masculine. That's, you know, but I agree with the video. We have a lot of men in the streets doing it, and where does their emotion get them? Locked up behind the wall. So, you know, I definitely agree with the video. They made they said everything that there is said. I know this
They
is
literally did.
another topic, but it's literally, and you know, it's just exactly what she said. So, and I agree with that in the first place.
In Paris, we don't care that you smart.
Yes, you do.
I
Shut
care
up.
that you're smart.
God damn it. Oh Lord, dude. You just
We don't care that you right.
bad.
You sitting there muted, just sit. Okay, you right. So
Ow.
You go ahead, girl. You go ahead.
All I'm saying is, I still feel like it still proves my point, because I still feel like those guys still couldn't. They suppressed their emotions. They didn't know what to do with their emotions because they was raised by single mothers. They didn't know who to talk to. They didn't have no one to talk to. And look at them now. Like half of them, I mean, murder charges. Like one guy, he's from Mississippi and he murdered someone. And he made a song about mama. Don't worry, you raised a gangster. He just went to jail for first degree murder. All because they keep telling men that you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't cry, you can't. It's like you putting most kids in these boxes that they don't know what to do with these emotions, and they end up being murderers, drug dealers. You can't go to mama. Nobody.
Mama three. Didn't you say you like a good street dude?
I ain't never said that. I ain't never dated no
Yeah,
street
you didn't
dude.
say he creamed your
I
britches.
know you a lie. All my dudes are nerds. Baby, I like me a quiet man. I ain't never date no street dude ever in my life. Never.
Well, let me give y'all a little context on. Okay, I grew up in the streets, but I wasn't a street dude. I did street dude stuff, but I wasn't a street dude. I grew up. I actually went and my best friends. It was three brothers, and they had a masculine, huge dad, right? And he was married to his wife. I was able to see him be masculine around the house, how he dealt with like his three sons, how he operated with his wife, right? So when I'm in the streets, I'm doing what I'm doing. I actually took on some of his masculine energy. So when I'm selling drugs and doing all this other stuff, I was still negotiable. I would negotiate with the crackheads. I would negotiate with people. If it was a block where you over here and it's a problem, I would negotiate with dudes instead of trying to shoot at them and fight them and all this other shit. So I actually took on his negotiating skills with his kids and his wife, and I took it on in the streets. So even though I was doing street dude shit, I never succumbed to the femininity of the always wanting to shoot people and fighting and all this shit. So, and because like even with fighting, we slap box. So it was like we was learning how to properly fight the right way. So we literally fought each other practicing. It was literally practicing. So all together, from a masculinity standpoint, you can be out in the streets, but it's what you do out in the streets. It's kind of like what y'all said. It's what you do. It's not how you feel. Because I was doing the same stupid shit that everybody else was doing, but I wasn't all crazy with it. And that is the femininity when you're out of control with your emotions. I never was out of control with any of the crazy shit, street shit that I was doing, because once I got my money right, I actually started my family and left the hood. So I literally left all of it behind the second I actually said, all right, I'm done. Me and my homeboys all just bought houses out in the suburbs and we left the hood. And that right there is what masculinity is all about. It's control. It's about discipline. It's about understanding that, all right, it's time to go. These other dudes are just gay as hell and feminine. Yeah.
You was out there negotiating with terrorists as a street dude?
Yeah, you gotta negotiate, bro. I learned to negotiate with street niggas, junkies, women, everything.
So when a crackhead came up to you and said, "Hey, bro, I know I need this up out of you. I'll pay you next week."
Yeah. That was one of the things I
beat him. Man, don't folk beat him up, man.
No, I'm dead ass serious. I actually would say, I pay me when you got paid, because the crackheads back then, everybody had jobs. And in the trap I was in, I knew where everybody lived. And I would knock on everybody's door and collect on Friday.
Like a boss. You like a little boss, little CEO.
You violated the 10 crack commandments with that one.
He was a CEO.
No, I was
on consignment, bro. Yeah, I ain't giving out crack on credit.
I didn't live in the area. They lived in that area. I didn't live there.
Oh, that was during the 60s, wasn't it? That was during the 60s, right?
Yeah.
When the segregation.
She said, but yeah, it was crack on credit.
You see how he said, yeah, mommy love? He said, yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, crack on credit.
Back then.
Oh,
bro, I invented
You sold
credit
on DNC.
I invented credit.
Talk about I came out on top with that. No, the hell you did. You had to crack a few eggs, bro. And you out there negotiating with terrorists. Come on, man.
I'm dead serious. I negotiated with police, everything. Not snitching, but it was negotiating.
I'm glad you changed and you got out that hood.
Yeah. Yeah, credit crack. Actually, that was a good thing. You ain't got to be out. You ain't got to be out in the trap all damn day. You can just go home. You would distribute the crack and just go home and just go play video games and shit instead of sitting out there waiting on somebody. The shit
I'm
was
gonna be honest with you, man. I don't believe you. I'm sorry, I don't believe you. This sounds like bullshit.
Okay. Hey, I can only talk about what I went through, but it wasn't no gangster shit, no crazy shit. It was nothing. It was a beautiful thing.
Hold on, y'all know.
I enjoyed my little thug life.
What was that movie? They had Cameron in it. What was the name of the movie?
Yeah. Kind of like that. Yeah.
Not Paid in Full.
Paid in Full,
Yeah,
right? We seen what happened when he was trying to negotiate with terrorists. You talking about you were successful at it? Bullshit.
Hey.
Bullshit.
You do know Atlanta is totally different than New York, right? New York people can't get along for shit. Keep that in mind. I'm in Atlanta.
You was not out there giving out crack on credit. It just came out on top, bro. It just sounds like bullshit.
What you eating over there? Ain't nobody tell you to take no snack break.
Trying to tell you, I took the whole day off. I gave them their crack and went home. And I told them if they don't pay me, I'm gonna burn their house down. Hold
on. You were selling violence. But ain't that a bit?
Let go. You was pushing. Are you saying you was pushing?
It was negotiation. I said, if you don't pay me, I know where you live at, and you're gonna wake up, your house gonna burn down. But guess what?
So let go, Jay-Z now. You did that, so hopefully we wouldn't have to go through that, huh? Lego did that, so hopefully we wouldn't have to go through that. God dang, well.
So you know what, Miss Lego, like the way you was acting, was you like, acting a fool in your feminine engine because you were raised by a single mom? So
acting a fool is what I'm saying.
Man, y'all killing me with this.
Very negotiable.
Y'all, everybody just became wrong at the same. Didn't never mind. We just gonna keep
y'all never seen gangster movies. They dealt with shit and they sat down and talked about it. That's how I grew up. It wasn't all this crazy shit.
There's never been a gangster movie that I've seen where everything got done just by having a conversation. These motherfuckers was getting into shootouts, murdering each other, blowing each other's cars.
So was that feminine?
Gangster movies?
Is that feminine?
Movies, yes.
The Sopranos?
Is that feminine?
Sopranos?
So the Sopranos, nobody got shot?
When they're Italians, they become masculine, don't they?
At the end, when they went to war, other than that, people weren't really getting shot.
Man, people were getting shot.
When the negotiation didn't work, they had to go. But everything was about negotiation. But when
you can't negotiate with terrorists.
How is shooting people and selling crack feminine? Can y'all let me know how that, man? How y'all doing this?
Feminine is the actions and the crazy shit in the extra shit.
What?
You ain't that guy.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying y'all misuse these terms. They black. That's what it. Because if you in the mafia, it's masculine. If you go to war, it's masculine. Yeah.
The same way I sell my car games is the same way I go crack.
Exactly. You flip flop and manipulate.
That's the same thing I described about a Karen and a Keisha. It don't matter.
How would they feminine? How would they feminine? Precious said they would do.
They taking Percocet.
No, Ali, I got you. Ali, I got you.
Y'all flip flop. Y'all both. All y'all flip flop on the answer.
Each other. I wasn't doing shootouts and all this other crazy shit.
I got you, bro. Mr. Lego. So if I gave somebody some crack on consignment and they didn't pay me my money and I went and burnt down their house, that's telling me that's masculine.
That's not feminine.
What the fuck?
That's an agreement. That's just like if I buy a car and they take it back. Wait,
Precious, you got to get back in this conversation because you started this. You started this.
If I buy a car,
everybody wrong and right.
Hold on, wait. If I buy a car and they take it back and repo it, is that feminine? No,
we're not talking. We're talking about burning somebody's house down or putting a bullet in there.
Not taking back property that's theirs when you don't pay.
I don't think I would have burnt their house down. It was a threat, but I never had to deal with it.
But that came from a feminine place.
It
didn't. You didn't have to say you was going to burn their house.
Y'all literally said the feminine is the action. It was never the action.
No, they did not. That's how you flip flop. Precious said masculine. I mean, not Precious. Paris said.
Paris.
Hold on, Lego. No. He said the action was masculine and just being was feminine, right, Precious? Now we flip flopping. All the brothers were shooting, selling crack. Now they feminine.
No, she said feminine was just being and masculine
was doing.
That's what
being, I never do nothing. I was just
You said that was feminine.
Hold on.
He be
Hold on, y'all.
Now all he do is talk. Don't even listen.
I ain't had no
I'm gonna make a call so we get some gas from O Block on the stream right quick. Hold on.
O Block, hey, get my homies on the land.
See them dudes, they feminine. They run around shooting folks and acting stupid.
You just said you threatened somebody to burn their house down. You talking about?
I didn't have to do it though, because it probably would have went in the feminine.
Did you say dough? Dang, he didn't switch to dough. That's how you used to talk back then, huh? I ain't have to do it though. I have to do it though.
Are you telling me that basically what you're telling me is that you was out there giving out empty threats because you would have never burnt the house down?
Yes, I was giving out empty threats. Yes.
Yeah, you definitely was. Yeah, you definitely
burning nobody's house down, y'all. I'm not doing that.
I would have went on and just took that then if I knew you weren't gonna burn my house down.
Well,
that's exactly what they did to him. Man, give me this crack.
A few times. Robbed his ass.
But that's the negotiation right there, though. That's negotiation.
Come around here, get them pockets.
Negotiation of Mr. Lego is I give it to you.
So we realize you were young. Can we see a picture of you? I know it's black and white, but I don't know. Maybe
we need to see young Mr. Lego. What does that look like?
I actually got
see what you look like.
Go show the picture, let go.
There wasn't nothing intimidating about Mr. Let Go.
Send it to me so I can put it on the screen now, let go.
When I went to see my dad,
It's a
he
big
had
head.
pictures
It
of
was
me
a
when I
big
was a
head and
kid.
skinny body. I bet you it's a big head with skinny body.
I was cool as hell as a kid. Now I'm trying to tell y'all.
Let us see you with that Tommy Hilfiger on. I know
Hold
you got
on,
some
y'all.
Hilfiger.
Hold on. Because my dad had some pictures of me when I was little. Hold on.
No, we want to see you as a the drug dealer.
Yeah, I want to see drug dealing, Mr. Let Go. I don't want to see.
Y'all got to remember the last time I see my dad, I was a drug dealer, and that's the reason why he stopped talking to me, because I was telling him about his own life and shit, and I had a car and all that other shit.
You were dealing Molly Percocet.
This was Mr. Let Go baby picture right here.
What?
We want to see you with that Tommy Hilfiger on. I know you probably got some Tommy Hilfiger.
Look at his baby picture. Look at his baby picture.
In the onesie.
Yo, not in a onesie.
Yo, look at your baby picture.
I'm ready to see
Yeah,
that.
hold on.
Come on now.
Hold on. Y'all gonna have to wait. Y'all talk about something. I gotta look for it.
I know that picture in black and white.
He looking for. He about to edit it. He about to edit it.
First of all, I'm a millennial. Mommy Three Loves. What are you talking about?
Oh, that thing got a little twang to it.
Yo, that picture funny. Oh my god.
Not the finger got some twang to it. Oh my god.
Yo, that picture is.
Could y'all imagine? Hey, could y'all imagine this as a drug dealer and a mean?
Exactly. He'd be like, "Shut up,
taking this serious,
and give me that crack."
I was trying to crack his
Shut
shit
up and pay me.
Miss Lego, did you have some spokes? Did you have spokes on your car?
Y'all have some reverse eights and Vogues and
okay.
yeah. I had a Cutlass, yeah.
Oh, you were good. Oh, okay.
When year that come out?
Got a little
Man,
today.
Y'all believe anything? Y'all believe anything Lego say?
Hey, hold on, y'all gotta leave him alone so you get that picture.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta concentrate. I gotta find a picture.
These comments is wild.
Oh, really?
Hey, y'all, you gotta read the super chat.
Oh my god. Yo, y'all come back to me. I don't know what the hell I did with these pictures.
Box feel like finding a wallet full of
I got all these goddamn phones.
What?
Ali Elizabeth Bendler, ring a bell. No, sit down. Who was
Must
that?
be the that's the Hate a Man club, I think. Hate Man.
Trish Johnson says street cats be
Biting the sheet like.
I'm just looking at that picture. What the
That man ain't got no fronts.
Mr. Let Go was
One of Miss Lego clients.
misdemeanor.
I wasn't committing nothing. I was just selling crack and minding my business.
You weren't selling it, you was giving it away.
Ain't it? You get crack,
Mommy, how you gonna say that? You probably
Mr. Let Go was filling out of Walmart.
Exactly.
Mr. Let Go was getting topped by them brackets.
Yeah, this ain't client.
Yo, hold on now. Hold on now.
They still talking about him.
But I was stealing Transformers out of
Mr. Crack Lease was going up in them junkies raw.
Big 11 turned out to Lego stop line. Nobody is afraid of a thug who couldn't sit on the curb and swing his legs talking about it.
Oh, that's the one.
They got stopped.
Yo, look at this one. Yo, look at this one.
Lego being a drug dealer is like Carly Russell never came out.
Damn. And seeing a white toddler.
Oh my.
I found that baby. Just so y'all know. I found that baby. Just so you know.
Okay.
The I-40.
Did you find the baby picture?
Yeah. No, I found the baby. I gave the baby back to their parents.
You know what? I'm finna.
What? All right, y'all gonna have to wait for the pictures.
Man, you know what? I don't even want to see the shit no more. Because it takes.
I don't want to see shit no more.
Now you talking about something else, mommy.
I don't have nothing else to say with that.
That what you say when it little?
Sound like she talking about something else.
Hey, Mommy 3 Drag, clean up. Hey, Ali, Mommy 3 Drag, clean up when he started talking about his drug dealing past.
Exactly,
Like, you ain't no damn drug dealer.
Because CJ capping. That look,
hold on.
everything adds up to everything I said. Him saying that he was a drug dealer, and now he's saying he don't trick off. Boy, please, that don't even add the fuck up. If you was that means you were tricking then, and now you tricking now.
Exactly. That's what I said.
Actually,
he's selling a membership.
He was the Oprah Winfrey of crack.
Let me tell y'all something. In the hood, all you need is that car and them speakers in the back. You ride down the street slow, blasting your music, and you ride back up the street, and you got them rims on your car. There's at least 4 hood rats done came out to the porch, looking to see who just rolled down the street. And then now you got 4 hood rats at whichever
the lingo
one
the lingo don't match, man. The lingo.
So you was young, just
You
like
need
I
more
said,
people.
those type of women,
We don't believe you. You need more people.
What'd you say,
like
Mommy?
we told you, those type of women do it for free. They don't care. They just like you.
But you gotta have a car.
Hit the wall. You don't hit that wall. Boom.
You
boom,
gotta
boom.
have something though.
You hit that wall. Now they looking at you. Ooh, do you got money? Oh, what you got? He at this age. Oh.
It's the same thing now. I look like I got money, and because of that, I ain't got to spend no money.
He was selling Lucy's. That's what he was selling with some Lucy's.
I just got this chain. That's it. I ain't got no money.
He was giving the crack away for free and selling the Lucy.
You selling Lucy's.
I give a woman some money. She my woman, but I ain't just running around giving women money.
You ask a baby you eat today. That's the same as tricking.
Hold on, what? Say it again.
You texted a woman this week or so or said, "Hey, you ate today, babe?" You a damn.
You lie. Yeah, I know he lied. I know he lied too.
I'm gonna feed you, but I'm not checking to see if you don't ate. If you ain't my girl, if you my girl, that's a different story.
If you try to get some coochie, man, that's just a goal, bro. That's what these men. That's what they gonna do. You gonna ask, "Hey, you ate today, babe?"
I don't do none of that. I don't do none of that. I'm sorry.
That one ain't
I think you giving too much credit to that. I don't know. Women get away so easy. You ain't got to feed them.
I don't care enough to be checking to see if you don't ate. I don't really give a damn. Because if you ain't ate, what the hell I got to be checking to see if you don't ate for? Like, go eat.
Nah, Mommy Tree, he just checking to see.
No, I can't
he
find
ain't
them.
got to. If it ain't no coochie, then he done already got to.
Bro, I got way too many pictures, and that shit was like months ago. So I got all this internet.
What you do is you can go to like your photo and then bring up all the photos of you.
He got all the women in that mentorship in that phone. He got all the women sending the pictures in that mentorship in that phone.
I found that.
Lisa.
Monica. In a front profile.
Treat.
All right, hold on. I'm finna send it your DM.
I'm ready to see these.
All right.
This is my uncle, my dad. Chats.
It's funny they look like the Sweeney pictures, all 3 Sweeney pictures.
I'm so ready. Hurry up, JR. Please hurry up.
He about to hold it like this. He about to be like, look, this was me. This was me, right?
I'm ready to see this picture.
All right, hold on. I gotta
He's still going through that little phone.
It's gonna look like this. Look.
Just sitting there, but straight
gonna
out.
be done right here like that.
Oh damn, Precious left. Precious wanted to see my baby picture.
Where's that?
Hold on.
It's gonna be a head with feet.
I want a bunch of dudes.
It's gonna be all head and feet.
I'm ready to see this little picture of Mr. Let Go, child.
Hold on.
He's still in that phone.
No, like he sent it to me.
I got it. I mean, he got it now.
How many phones you got, Mr. Let Go?
Everybody should send their baby pictures now, dude.
4 phones.
What you be? I know you. What you do with all 4?
One he sell the tie. One he gives away the ties. The other one he's eating ass. One is for selling them card games.
It 2 of them only work with Wi-Fi, so he already said he broke. He already said he broke, so it probably one of them just rest on work with just round Wi-Fi.
It's 2 Wi-Fi phones and 2 own phones.
Man, come on, man.
I don't need all 3. I don't need all 4 phones.
Why you need 4 phones? Why you need 4 phones? 4 phones? What you need 4 phones? I know
You
what
know how
you
much
if you
content
got it,
I
baby.
put out in a week, bro?
It ain't tricking if you got it.
Do you know how much content I put out in a week? Like,
Why do you need 4 phones to put out content?
It's a trap phone.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? What that sound at, JR?
What are you talking about?
Talking about.
Do you know how much production I put out like daily?
Now, what does that have to do with you needing 4 phones to do that?
Because I do everything through my phones.
So you need 4 phones? It's still only one you.
Sir, I need 4 phones for storage.
He got a lot of
So you go.
personality.
Is that masculine? Is that masculine or feminine to have 4 phones?
Wait, let me get this straight. So
It's probably feminine, so.
Parents, what is it? Hey, parents, is it masculine or feminine to have 4
You ain't
phones?
got the answer. You know you need to stay out of there with Ali. You ain't got the answer.
Right, parents. Exactly, parents. Parents will shut y'all asses down. She ain't talking to none of y'all. Stay muted, parents. Don't even
Yeah,
listen
she
to
just
her.
said she wasn't going to your Saul behind mentorship.
You need to follow my lead. They said you've been running your mouth like me. You know, that's a little sassy. It's giving
I ain't been running my mouth. I ain't been running my mouth. What are you talking about? I ain't said nothing.
Look at picture.
Now you lying. You've been over there searching for that little picture. You back in the day lying like you used to.
And she calling you out for lying now. Let go. You in trouble.
JR got the picture. JR got the picture.
Yeah, this thing is
It's showing blurry.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's an old ass picture.
it's an old picture, so I gotta probably make it smaller. There it is.
There you go.
Man,
My uncle, my dad, and me.
You look bad as hell for real.
Yeah, I was a little badass little boy. And look, just imagine at that point, I was a drug dealer, right? And I was telling my dad that I had a car. I had a car at that age.
Wow.
I had an 86 color Supreme with reverse aches and Vogues. $800 tires. The tires was $800.
Choosing photos.
And yeah, I see I had hair. So yeah.
I'm glad you cut it out.
Mommy 3 funny. She's so funny.
Now mommy 3 is wet. Now she moist. You like, damn, that nigga look good when he was young. I love
hold on, wait, put it back up. I wasn't paying attention. Which one is you?
In the middle.
She said Miller.
In the middle.
Miller. In the Miller.
I said in the middle, boy.
In the Miller.
In the middle. She said you was in the middle.
I was in the middle. But
in the mill. In the mill.
In the middle.
So that's my dad and my uncle when I was little. So I was around masculine males.
Oh, you talking about the uncles or you talking about the how about the thugs? You just said it was feminine. How you gonna see? This is what I be talking about. Flip flopping.
Show the baby picture. Precious in the chat.
Nah, don't run away from that. You said thugs was feminine.
I wasn't a thug.
Man,
I was just doing.
You said a drug dealer was feminine too.
I just sold drugs. That's commerce. Just like I sell car games.
So selling drugs is masculine.
It's neither. It's commerce.
It's neither.
So now we non-binary energy.
Damn. Hold on, Sweeney. What was that, man? Hold on.
Sweeney, what is this?
I don't know. I seen something swinging or something. What the hell going on over there?
Oh, shit. Oh, Lord, I gotta get up here. I can't see no swing.
Yo, put up the other picture, Jerry. Precious in the chat.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
All right.
Have a good night, Paz. Have a good night.
Good night.
Mom 3 Love's gonna get real moist when she's here. She's gonna be like, oh, he's so cute.
Baby, I don't get it. I'm ill. You heard what they said,
Are you putting another picture, Lego?
She stay moist, huh?
Oh, I thought you sent me another picture or something.
I sent you 2 pictures.
Oh, you sent me 2?
I
it's in your DM.
Oh, okay, I see the other one. Yeah, let me go ahead and put this.
All y'all gonna get moist. All the ladies gonna get moist when y'all see my hair in this other video.
I want to see that Jerry Curl.
I'm telling you,
Thuglicious.
I'm telling you,
Thuglicious.
I'm telling you, my DMs about to go crazy when you see that.
Oh Lord, DM about to go
This
crazy.
baby picture. Oh my God, because that means I was sexy through my entire life.
Aw.
Y'all see it?
Oh, you so cute.
Look at my hair. I was sexy through my whole life.
You look like a bad child.
I'll
Your
tell
eyes
y'all.
are black as hell. That's how you know.
Ladies,
what I'm
do
saying. You
not
look like you
DM me. Do not DM me. I'm not answering
Boy,
DMs.
like you eat crayons on that picture.
But I've been sexy through my whole life.
He said a red, my favorite flavor. Yeah, let me go. I need to get the fuck up off here. Well,
Hold on.
you was real cute. You was real cute, Mr. Legos.
We're about to close out.
Now I'm out to have all these women in my DM. Ex is gonna be trying to get back with me, everything. So like
What
y'all
they
leave me
want a baby
alone.
with you? They would be saying they want a baby with you.
Yeah, that's why they want to have a baby with me. I ain't giving none of y'all no babies. I'm trying to tell y'all, leave me alone.
I thought you were fixed.
Exactly.
Right?
Well,
so much flip flopping. So he just be lying, don't he? Be lying, boy.
Okay, I did say I'm not giving none of y'all babies, so that means is a not. And then, what are you talking about?
Oh, I can't stand you. Oh, I just want to come through this chat.
What? He wrote on the walls. Oh
That's
yeah,
what he wrote on the wall.
I was a little bad little kid, but y'all can't say I wasn't sexy though.
I wouldn't call baby sexy.
Look at Precious flirting. Leave me alone, Precious.
That man, I swear, look like he eat crayon.
he crazy. That's what he like crazy. He look like crazy.
See right here, I slap the shit out of somebody right here.
Lord,
look at them eyes.
I knew you was something. I knew you was something serious with that.
Told you.
I'm gonna buy your card game.
I appreciate that. I slapped shit out of a shark.
Man, you finna buy it for me. I ain't buying nothing. I'm gonna sit in my feminine energy and see if you're gonna buy me that card game.
Nope.
That's masculine for me to buy a card game from you. That's very masculine.
What do you mean? Just buy the card game so we can play.
No, you gotta buy it for me.
No, you got buy the card game. We play it.
Oh my god, just buy it.
Trish Johnson.
You like Mr. Lego? You like that too, Mr. Lego?
He like when they talk like kids.
He like that. He like when they talk like church.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right, y'all. We gotta get up out of here, man. We appreciate you guys. Lapeef, let's talk tonight. Make sure to like button. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you down there, Sweeney. Hey, Sweeney, what was that video that was playing at the?
Sweeney, what you was playing?
Hold on, wait. This one, bro. This is
Sweeney, be careful. Like,
no.
Sweeney, what? Certain things you can't play.
No, this ain't bad.
Let go called it in the beginning. He might have been right.
Unless you say a copyright strike.
I told you.
No, I told
you. It ain't bad. It ain't bad. No,
bro, don't show his screen.
This is Mr. Lego. This is Mr. Lego as a drug dealer.
Boo.
Hated it.
Wait, how y'all know what that is?
You don't know what that is?
Living color?
Living color, man.
No, I'm a millennial, y'all. I don't know all these little shows and shit that y'all.
You know in living color, bro. Come on,
living color, man. Come on.
What are you
talking? You can do what you want to do.
I thought you said you were married for 30 years.
He be lying. Y'all know he be lying.
What do you mean I'm married for 30 years? No.
I thought that's what you said.
You're not a millennial either. Stop playing.
Huh? You say what?
Oh, he doing live.
That's all. I told
You're
y'all.
older than that. Stop playing.
And change ties. And what else he do, sweet?
Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know what
ties, bro. Cushion ties.
I am eating ass and buying tires though.
You will. Hey, my man out here.
That's how I let go like him too.
He like
Look how he smile. He like women with men. Go ahead, let go.
He
like the side piece.
Leave me alone.
You said you do what?
I spread her cheeks over. She better leave me alone.
And until you traumatized later.
You gotta stay in your place.
Bobby 3, see what he did?
Don't take no pictures. I don't need you to take no picture when I'm asleep. I don't need you to call me at a certain time. Don't look. Keep that shit cool.
Y'all know what that means. That's my gang sign right there, y'all.
Oh my goodness!
I knew you wasn't that dude.
Dirty
Bandit. Don't speak to me in public. If I
Dirty
see
Bandit.
I knew you wasn't that dude back in the day. You was
Yeah,
back
Dirty
there
Bandit,
man.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all, man.
Y'all be safe, man.
Man, hit that like button. Also, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Appreciate everybody on the panel. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and follow everybody and support everybody that was on the panel that dropped off and the remaining folks.
And buy my damn card game.
Yeah, make sure y'all get the card game.
All right, y'all. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Look, mile like 3-6 pulled up, ski trip cold winter. I'm eating good. I remember when we had no dinner. West side, east side, no side, both sides with me. Check, come and check, leaving flex season 12, come and get me. Gil, to run around high speed, chasing all the big bags. Bending corners, bending rules, bending necks, Gil, the whiplash. Slide through hot knife, warm butter storm, gutter drain lane. Young man, old habit, still let it, tryna let my chain hang. True story, new story, 2-story condo, B&B. 4 bath, 1 me, no key, like I did a B&E. B&Me so good, so hood, so not worried about it. 250,000 new views, old news, know you probably heard about it. Extra read about it, headline, word around town, flexing. Ballin' on my course, so I ain't worried about nobody out of bounds, stressing. Feeling like Hercules, murder these ain't a problem to me. Tried to tell the maid service don't come unless you bring it condoms to me. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me. Stacking, racking, money, power flipping. Moving, shaking, coming down to me.
Ain't nobody got time for that.